Alrighty, my brother, ready to rock and roll?
Think so.
Let's
Check.
do it, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. By the way, sorry for the delay. I was having tech issues as well. I couldn't get the whole window capture and everything else figured out. There's always a
Mm,
tech issue at some point in time.
listen,
But
man, I'm more than patient, bro. If you need
ready?
help with anything
I
or
appreciate that, my dude. I appreciate it. I need help with everything, to be specific, Yugs, but I do very much appreciate that. Yugi601, the man, the myth, the legend. Thank you for being here, dude. I know you delayed slash maybe even canceled the stream for it, so I do appreciate it, my man.
of course, man.
How you
I
doing,
wouldn't
brother?
miss it. I'm
Happy
doing good.
Friday!
I'm
Happy
doing good.
Friday to you, dude. You're off today,
Happy
right?
Yeah, happy
My
Friday, man.
man,
I'm happy to be off.
that's,
Yeah, I
that's
just
never a bad day.
no, I mainly just slept in, dude. I'm
Nothing
not
wrong with
gonna lie.
that.
Yeah, I needed it. I needed it.
100%. Yeah, 100%. So, are you gonna try to stream tonight?
I was debating on if I should or shouldn't, but I
Yeah,
decided just I really want to maintain the consistency of the
fair.
time.
Yeah,
So
fair.
I figured, you know what, I'll cancel it. But I don't know if you still are. If you, are, I'll be there most
I
likely.
I have
So
no idea. We'll see where it goes. To be honest with
okay,
you, I
okay.
never know you because I wake up in the morning and I just try to figure it out from there. I have a schedule listed out, but how often I maintain it is you know as much as I do if I'm streaming from day to day.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, hey, look, man, you're working, man. I'm a working
yeah,
man. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Life happens, things happen.
Right. Hey, so
But
no
it is what
pressure,
it is.
no time constraint whatsoever. However, I will
Okay.
say this much. I put all of our wins at the front of this video. So the longer we go, the more likely we're going to start seeing those games where we started getting dunked on.
Yeah, I
So
was yeah, I was thinking about that too. I was thinking about that. I was like, man, like, cause dude, I'm not gonna lie, for the footage, I was sweating, bro. I was like, we gotta make it good.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
nobody wants to see us get wrecked, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Oh, they're going to be counting kills. You know it's going to be in the comments. So I guess
yep.
we had a good conversation if everyone starts dunking on us in the comments. So we'll take
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Dude, so congratulations and thank you for being not only the first guest, but you're also on the first podcast. I haven't even recorded the first introduction one yet.
Oh my.
You're literally patient zero. So I appreciate you
Hey,
for that, my man.
hey, I'll take that. I'll
So,
take that.
a hundred
It's an
percent.
honor.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to your lovely wife on stream the other day, and she was asking if I had recorded the first one, and I had. But originally, and I think I was telling you this when we were gaming the other night, I was gonna try to say, "Hey, you, let's hop on Halo Infinite together, and then
Hmm.
we'll do the podcast while we're playing." So I
Yeah,
tried to record the original one. Dude, there was no way. My
yeah.
ADHD just won't let me do it. I was just sitting there. I was like falling off just into a daze. I couldn't complete a thought or a sentence, which isn't much different than how I usually am, anyways. But it was dude, it was just amplified tenfold at
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah, dude, don't even. I'm like that too. Like, if you'll
Uh,
notice, like, the only time I'm really quiet, at least when I'm streaming, is if I'm hard focused. So if I'm
yeah,
hard, yeah, I get it, man. It's hard. So I don't. It's a talent to do that. Like to do
somebody.
well and
Yeah,
talk. That's
it
hard.
is.
Yeah.
It's an art that I didn't think about before I even started. To be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
Until you actually do it, you just don't know. And it is, it's
Hmm.
very, very difficult. I mean, I'm sitting here watching our footage and I'm still struggling, to be honest with you. So, let alone actually trying to play at the exact same time. So,
Yeah, there's no shot. Yeah, call
um,
outs all day, but
yeah,
to make like a coherent conversation, no, you might as well
no
talk to the wall
shot.
for me,
No
man. I'm
shot.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, exact same way. Well, I do think you engage pretty well with chat and everything when you're live, but we'll certainly get into that. We'll certainly get
Yeah.
into that. So, also, how's it feel knowing you jumped Coach 4-star for the first guest? But I had to get you on. I had to get you on, dude, because and we'll get into this as well. But you have that the face reveal coming soon, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had to get your before and after takes before you bring the face cam up, and then your takeaways afterwards. So I didn't have a choice. I hope Coach understands.
Yeah, this is my formal
So,
apology to coach. Please don't make me
yeah.
do more laps or push-ups, coach. I'm sorry.
Right, yeah.
I will I won't do this again,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Well, if he's really mad, he's gonna make you play Sweet Thieves, and then we all have to wash
Oh
our hands.
no.
That'd be too
All
much.
right.
That
Yeah.
punishment would not fit the crime.
Yeah, no,
So,
I have to delete everything after that.
yeah, dude, seriously. Well, Yugs, first and foremost, before we get going, because I'm gonna forget to do this at the end. Let's have you put in a couple plugs, man. Where can we find you? Where do you stream? What social medias? The whole nine, brother.
Absolutely. So you can pretty much find me on anything. Facebook, Insta, TikTok, YouTube. What's the other one? MySpace.
Yep,
I'm pretty much everywhere.
Pixo,
Yeah.
MySpace, yeah, Tumblr, right,
Yeah, you can
right.
pretty much catch me everywhere on there, man. Just forewarning though, like most of the YouTube content is gonna be Fall Guys related. So
Yep,
and I have my reasons for that, and maybe we can get into it later.
totally.
And as for the rest is just, freak like little updates here and there. Twitter, I tend to just like have fun with it and
Love
take it
it.
too serious because I'm sure as you know and anyone else who possibly might use Twitter knows that's not exactly the place you go to for a
Oh,
conversation. So
no, not a reasonable one at least.
no,
If you're
exactly.
prepared to
So
bang your head into a wall, I guess you can, but
right. So
goodness
I'll just
gracious, dude.
yeah, so I'll just go on there to like, maybe throw out a thought here and there and that kind of get off.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, TikTok is totally like totally different content. It's usually just Reddit stories.
Love it.
Yeah, stories on whatever you may find on Reddit. So there's that, and
Sure.
it's a decent following. It's
Yeah,
getting
man.
out there.
That's awesome.
And like I said, Instagram. I mean, last I checked, it was supposed to be for pictures. So I try to just put pictures on there, but it's tempting because
There's
you
people
know,
going live on it now. There's people that just do videos. It has
yeah,
transformed. And you and I were discussing this the other day when we were playing. Neither of us in real life are big social media guys. I don't have any social medias in
yeah,
real life. Every social media that I have is in fact for. And people ask me on stream. They're just like, "Well, hey, where can do you have Instagram, Twitter?" I'm just like, "Yeah, links are below." However, I'm gonna
yeah,
be honest. I don't use them.
yeah,
So and I
yeah.
and I
Exactly.
don't.
Same.
I haven't really thought of anything worth tweeting that I thought anybody would give a shit about, to be perfectly honest with you. So when I do, I will, but until that day comes, I just, it'll lay dormant a little bit. I more so respond to people more than anything, to be
Hmm.
honest with you. So, which is
Yeah.
fun. If you got an hour to kill, before you go to bed or something.
That's exactly the rule
Yeah.
that you should do when it comes to those social medias, actually.
Right.
Outside of actually like YouTube, like you should, and this is just in general, like anything more than an hour might not be best.
Well, dude, YouTube is my absolute vice, and that's the one that cost me the
Oh
most
yeah.
sleep. I could start a Yugi601 live stream or, a Yugi601 short, and the next thing you know, I end up on, the breeding patterns of platypi. And it's 3 in the morning, and I was like, well, I went to bed at 9. I was gonna get to bed at a decent time, but
Yep.
just
Yep.
wasn't meant to be.
It's so good, man. It's
Yeah,
so
it
good.
is. It absolutely is. So, okay, and then I will certainly link all of your socials down below. You have a link that's really interesting. If you could tell me about
Hey.
it, I wanted to get it. You basically have, is it Linktree? Or
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
link
You
that they
it's
can click. I've clicked on that before, and it has all your socials right there. That's incredibly nice to have.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And by all means, like if there's anyone listening who wants to get into this space, and including yourself, I'll show you, man. But it's definitely a good thing to do because it just makes it easier for
Yeah,
people.
yeah. No, it certainly sounds like it. One of the tips that I don't know if I was watching a YouTube video, reading about it, whatever the case may be, but before I even started a channel was even if you're not planning on starting a social media, even if you don't like social media, don't want to have one, you never know down the road if it would be beneficial to your channel to have one. So just make
Hmm.
one. Like I have a TikTok. I've never even opened it. I don't have it on my phone, but the VTice does have a TikTok on it, just so nobody else can steal it. At that
That
point,
too.
you know what
That
I
too.
mean?
That too.
Because
Yeah.
it only takes one person, and then that domain name is officially gone. You know?
Yeah, and you'll be like, what's his name? Wild Bill. I don't know if you heard about him. He
Yeah.
couldn't get his YouTube ad. So he's like, I was watching one of his streams and he was like, dude, I will pay you money. Can you just give it
Yeah.
back?
Yeah, and then they could just start posting outlandish stuff or something.
Yep.
So it's true. You got to get on it early, or else someone's going to
Yep.
get squatters' rights on you. And then that's all she wrote. So
Yeah.
good deal, man. Well, Yugi, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Let's focus on kind of personal life. Again, as much as you want to share, because you and I both do share the same thought process on less is more on
Yeah.
YouTube in terms of what you share. So if you want to
Yeah. Yeah.
share that your name is Yugi601 and that's it, dude. However
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
you want
No.
to share, however how little.
Yeah. I'm sure more will come out, especially after the face reveal. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
let's keep
Sure.
we'll keep some spoiler free. But for now, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean you can just you call me Yugi. Yugs is cool too. Just like Joey from the show says
Heck
Yugs. I
yeah.
appreciate that.
Heck yeah.
Everyone knows at this point, yeah, I'm married. We've been married for we're going on 3 years now.
Lady Yugi.
Together for 8 with Lady Yugi. Yup, that's her. That's the name that I gave her. I don't even think
I
she can
love
send
it.
it to it, but
I
she'll take
love
it.
it. Yeah. Well, once it's denoted, that's just that.
Yeah.
You know?
And I mean, pretty much, yeah. That's we kind of just took a liking to streaming, especially after Fall Guys went free to play. I think that's what really like.
I'm sure there's others that do this. You may know some. I think it's super unique that your wife is on stream with you. I want to say 100% of the time, at least every time I've been in there, Lady Yugi's always kind of being your co-pilot, co-host, and everything, which is a super unique aspect, and it helps because now all of a sudden, you know, she takes some of the load of reading chat, responding to chat, things like that. Super nice to have.
Oh yeah, and 100%. It was like her own willing. It wasn't like I said, like, hey,
Awesome.
It just kind of happened naturally. I think if you watch my first ever Fall Guys stream, it was actually just me and her playing, but she wasn't talking. So she was just like, so she's always just kind of like been supporting from the very beginning, which I appreciate.
Was that ever a conversation you guys you had with her? So I'd be curious how you'd bring that up. You know, to a significant other. This is what I want to do. I want to really go for this.
I think well, here's the thing, like I've said to you before, you know, I was a viewer before I was a streamer.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I'd always like, you know, God bless my wife, man. Like every time we would like lay down or like just hang out and watch TV, like she'd be watching me like showing her Dr. Disrespect clips.
That's
and,
awesome.
You know what I mean?
It takes a special woman.
Literally, you know what I mean? Because you know she's not a big gamer, so she would just sit there and like I guess entertain my my gamer antics. I don't know how to word it, you know?
Sure.
And she'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's cool." Meanwhile, I'm like, you know, having a good time, like freaking out about like a moment. So you know, I think she always kind of like, you know, noticed that was something I like enjoyed. I didn't think she would think I'd actually commit to it though. That's the thing, because you know, I have this tendency to like want to try things and then I don't stick to it.
Yeah.
This might be one of the this might be one of the few where I like, okay, I actually really enjoy this.
Definitely. Well, also, you know, the world of content creation / YouTube, whatever you may be doing, it's nice because it gives you objective readings on improvement. You do get some level of instant gratification, and some people look for different levels of that. But I mean, your subscriber count, your views, you know, what are some of the analytics? What's the one for impressions? Things like that, just to see, you know, how you're doing, where your viewers are, what state, what country, different things like that. So you do get that gratification that you don't get with necessarily everything of your hard work paying off, or hey, I need to improve X, Y, and Z for these reasons.
Yeah, so a lot of it is exactly what you just said. Like seeing that and knowing that, you know, there's like a response there. Totally. I think that really like helped me stick through it.
Totally. Yeah, totally.
From going from just one viewer to like, oh, now I've got two. It's just something about that feeling that I cannot recommend enough. Like if anyone's even remotely interested, like please give it a shot. Please.
Well, and that's the thing, and you know, you value so much when you have a single person that takes time out of their day to come watch you, because I'm sure you have this just as much as I do. I mean, that's a lot of streams when you first start out where it is quite literally 0 people viewing or 1 person, and that 1 person's you. And maybe one of your boys, or maybe your wife, or maybe your mom, whoever it may be. So then all of a sudden you get 5 people in there and you're on cloud 9 on top of the world.
Oh yeah.
It is.
Absolutely.
It's super rewarding. It's super fun.
It's humbling. Like like I said, like, and I put that on my streams. Like you could have been anywhere. Think about how huge like YouTube is, but you decide to be with me. Like how could I not be honored? You know?
Oh, and just to give someone a chance who, you know, because there's people that tuned in when you're at 20 subs, if that, and you know, I mean, there was a point in time where I was at like 7 subs, and I was 6 of them on different accounts. You know what I mean? So
your biggest support.
Yeah. I mean, somebody has to be, I suppose. So might as well be me.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting about? Sorry, go ahead. I apologize.
It's okay. I was gonna say, but yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. You know, like I live on the East Coast of America.
Yep.
For those of you who are curious, and like I said, as of right now, that's it. I'm sure more will come with time, and then hopefully, you know, maybe me and you can talk about it some more.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's only a matter of time before you piss me off enough, and I dox you out for everyone to know. So more will come out at some point. I have no doubt. So
At that point, I'll be like, all right, yeah, I guess get in line. You won't be the first, you won't be the last.
Right. Right.
Sheesh.
You know, one thing that's interesting to me about Lady Yugi is for someone who, so you and me both started out as viewers. What we didn't realize at the time when you are viewing streams is that you're doing research on how to interact with chat, how to manage a stream. These graphics look cool. I don't like this graphic. Oh, that was a cool transition, X, Y, and Z. Lady Yugi, and I wasn't with you guys from the beginning, but I've been with you for a while, and ever since I've been in there, she's just been wonderful with interacting with chat, and that probably bodes well. I'm sure she's a great people person in real life as well. She can hold a conversation, but her chat interaction is phenomenal for someone who maybe doesn't have that same level of research you and I had going in.
Yeah, she was almost a natural at it. Yeah, but
I can see that.
I will admit that I did have to sit and kind of like explain to her like expectations and what to do and what not to do, and to just
Sure.
make sure that don't do something you're not comfortable with, and that seems to be her strong suit.
Sure.
The technical side of things is more like my thing,
Yeah.
but her chat interaction and just overall presence is like
I agree.
extreme, is like I don't even think you can put a price on it.
No, dude. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
super welcoming to everyone that comes in, and it helps when that comes naturally and you don't have to force feed it and train. But, to a certain extent, everybody does have to, I suppose. But yeah, no, she's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah,
She's
yeah, I'm
absolutely
mind
wonderful on
blown
the
at,
mic, so.
yeah, I'm mind blown at how well she's been doing things. Like, I think one of the biggest things is that, and me and her talked about it off stream, is just that first impression that someone has when they first get
Yeah.
into the stream is
Yep.
what'll have them stay or leave.
Yeah.
110%.
Totally.
Because I'm sure you're familiar with Demented Darling. Like
Yep.
that's exactly what she told me. She said
Really.
from the first moment that we spoke to her, she's been stuck ever since, because she was just so, I guess, like, impressed at the way that we welcomed her,
Yeah.
that it really resonated with her, and she's been with us ever since, and now she's a mod. So there it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
And the
crazy.
rest is history. It
You
is
never
funny to
know.
see how it grows. You never know. And that's the
Yeah.
thing is, I think what's always shocking is you'll have someone come in and they'll just go, "Oh, I can't believe you even responded to me." Because
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
two things: either they go in and it's a large creator who has a ton of, just a ton of messages in chat, always rolling in. You just can't get to everybody, or they make the same mistake I did and they fell for a planted robot. I don't even know how they do it, dude.
Yeah.
What are those like live streams where they're not actually live? It's like a pre-recorded video, but it says it's live.
Man, dude, don't even
So,
get me
dude,
started
I've been
on
in there
that.
and like talking in chat. I'm just like, why is this isn't making sense? Like, he's not
Yeah.
even like they won't respond to me or anything. I feel like an idiot.
Yeah. Man, if we start ranting about that in the last 5 hours, man, I cannot, I can't even begin to process just like your lack of overall integrity, you know?
Yeah, dude. Yugi,
Oh my.
I raided one time. Yeah. That's how much of a nightmare it was, dude. He didn't say anything about it. He didn't even have to even happen. Because it didn't. He wasn't even effing live.
Oh my
God.
goodness.
Yeah.
Man, dude, that just
Yeah.
makes I'm laughing, but at the same time, man, that makes me so mad.
Yeah, bro.
Like, it's so messed up, man.
It made me absolutely
just-
sick.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Because you're not overthinking it. You're just like, oh, there's this guy streaming. I'm gonna send him some love.
Yep.
Meanwhile, this guy's not even freaking there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you think you're doing a nice thing, and then he's at school or at work or something for all we know. So
Yeah, it's crazy that I'm glad we're on the same page, but I know creators that defend that, dude.
really,
Believe it or not, I do. I'm not gonna say names,
I mean,
but I can't even. I personally am so out of the. I can't even begin to understand the realm of that type
no.
of like behavior, because again, like,
Yeah.
and like, and I pick up on that as well from just like the few conversations that we've had. Like, people are human beings, man. Nobody
Yeah.
likes to be, like, betrayed or deceived
No.
or just lied to. That leaves a very bad taste in
Yeah.
people's mouths.
No, dude, without question. And that's the thing
Yeah.
is, I'm sure we're thinking of probably the same guy because he does a lot of the games, or he does a similar game to us. But at the same time, that was my first impression. If you ever are actually live, there is a 0.0% chance I'll have any interaction or raids or anything like that. So that
Absolutely.
first impression does mean everything. You're 100% correct.
Exactly. And that's their first, and it'll be their last. And it's just
Yeah.
sad that, like, that's the way that you decide to present yourself,
Sure.
and the fact that you're even showing your I don't know, it's just so
Yeah.
it's so embarrassing,
Well,
man.
because
It's so embarrassing.
dude, all it has to be is you just post it as a VOD saying past live stream, the date, whatever you want to put in the caption, just past live stream.
See?
That's all it has to be.
Exactly. That's
But
what I'm saying. That I don't think I have to I don't think you need to be a super big streamer to understand that deception is
yeah.
probably not the route to go.
Right.
Right. You should
Right.
like exactly you said like, hey, this is a re-upload or this is a
Yep.
prior live stream.
Yep.
And that's it. I don't even think people would be upset, but it's just like he's intentionally
Yeah.
deceiving you and making you feel
Yeah.
like you're actually watching live.
Right.
Oh my goodness, I'm
Right.
gonna throw up.
I've never seen him actually live. Now that you
That's
say
the
it.
thing. Yeah, exactly.
You
Exactly,
know?
dude. It's so sickening to me.
Oh.
Because you understand and you can appreciate the work it takes, you know?
100%, dude. Yeah, 100%.
I
Yeah,
can't.
it does everybody wrong. Other creators, the viewing audience, yourself. It does everybody wrong. So
Exactly.
So one thing I am curious about, dude. Why the name Yugi601? What landed you on that?
Sure. So, as you know, well, maybe you don't know, but for those of you who are listening and VTice as well, I am a big anime dork.
Heck yeah.
And Yu-Gi-Oh was big for me growing up. Um, to put it in a nutshell, and not to sound some kind of way, because I'm already waiting for the comments. So here we go. I'm just gonna get it out of the way now, and I'm gonna say it as clear as I possibly can. Okay.
Yep.
Typically, when I would grow up playing card games, and I've been playing card games since I was born, practically.
Yep.
I would tend to be, hear me one more time.
All right.
Tend to be one of the better players. Okay?
Oh, already gassing himself up. Here we
That's
go.
what I'm saying. I'm waiting. Okay, Yugi, 1v1 me. When
exactly.
I'm like, okay.
Yep, the
right.
challenges. I can already see them in the comments now.
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm a tournament player. I'm just saying in my friend group, I tend to be the better player.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So here we go. Yeah. So that was like that for me pretty much my whole life. And even with my friend group, my inner circle friend group now, like it still is kind of like that to the point where like they don't even want to play card games with me anymore.
Just because you wax them every time, of course.
Yeah, which I try not to, but
talk that shit while you do it.
Yeah. They take it that way, and it's like it's funny. But we can get into it. But basically, that's why I came up with the name. You know, he's the main character of the show. He does do some BS in the show. I'm not gonna lie, but I do enjoy at least the character, the idea of the character. Like I watched it a lot growing up. I admire the voice actor. I think he did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
And 601, and I know you know about this. Do you remember growing up we had this thing called Leet where you could like you would type in characters, but they would mean different characters. So like the letter 3 would be the letter E.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Like the number 6 would be the letter B.
Right.
The letter 0 is actually an O. Okay,
Sure.
so 601 is just boy.
Yugi boy.
Yeah.
I never would have put that together. I like that.
Yeah, so
I like that.
And the reason why I say that is because in the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh, Pegasus was the name of the bad guy, and Pegasus would call Yugi boy.
Oh, dude, clever. Clever. I like that.
Yeah, so 601 is just Leet for boy. So I figured, Yugi boy. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. So if you ever, for some reason, if you literally are at your end's wit and you want to watch the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh, you'll see and that's why I came up with like Starships and the name of my channel and all that jazz. Like it's mostly it's mostly Yu-Gi-Oh inspired, and you'll get it within like watching the first 5 episodes. You'll be like, oh, okay, I see. Like, yeah, it was a big influence for me. So
I can vaguely remember watching this show when I was growing up a little bit.
Okay.
You know, in terms of all the different characters. Hey, can I ask you this? So what defines an anime? And I hope this isn't insulting to you and all anime fans everywhere.
No,
but I guess
no.
if I could ask this question, what's the difference between an anime and a cartoon?
I got you.
I know that's not going to come off well.
Let me tell you something, man. I know I'm very well aware of like the way our communities can be, and I'm not like that at all. So I got you, bro. If you got any questions like this, please come to me, because I know other people will literally like, oh my god, you might as well have You might as well have cursed the name of the top G at that point. The actual
right.
our Lord and Savior. Like you might as well have cursed him out.
Know, VTice. Yeah.
Literally. So the only difference is that anime and I know like your typical like American style cartoons, there's like a drawing style to really like notice the difference of it. But all it is just like Japanese cartoons, but they like name it anime. Now I can't tell you like the origin of the actual name anime.
Okay.
But I believe, and I could be wrong about this, maybe somebody could correct me, but it's like short for like Japanime, so Japanese animation kind of thing.
Interesting. Okay, gotcha.
So I think it's all like kind of hyphenated, short and type deal.
Sure.
But anything pretty much comes from Japan.
Right.
Is typically what we would call an anime.
Well, everyone in chat always asks me if I watch any animes, and I'm just like, I think Dragon Ball Z qualifies. I used to watch that back in the day, so okay. I always took it as animes just seemed like they were more adult-based and more for older viewing audiences.
Yeah.
And then cartoons were more for kids, I suppose.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, because there's like certain animes, let's say, right? Cater to different like age groups. Yeah. So there's very, very like mature anime that I would never recommend to
Demon Slayer is one I've seen a lot of people talk about. I think that one's more adult, probably targeted, if I had to guess.
Yeah, like older teen, adult, where like I would tell you like Attack on Titan is extremely like I would never recommend that to like a younger audience versus like Yu-Gi-Oh would be very easy to recommend to a younger audience. So it's a vast thing. Now, I guess similarly we would have like we don't have a lot of them in America, but there are adult cartoons. It's just they're not as popular as they were maybe when we were growing up because we had like Adult Swim, so that was more like adult oriented older teenagers cartoons, but anime has a lot of that, so it's kind of hard to
you wouldn't consider Family Guy and South Park to be animes, even though they are considered adult cartoons, so I guess that makes sense.
Anime is just basically a short way of saying like Japanese animation. That is it.
Okay, cool. Well, I guess that makes sense. Gotcha. Yeah. So, when did you first start doing some content creation? When did you start YouTube, or did you do Twitch, or how did all kind of the ball get rolling?
I'm glad you brought this up because I know I mentioned to you before that this is actually not my first time making content. I used to make content for Metal Gear.
Interesting.
If any of you are out there who still remember me from that time, please understand that I had to disappear for job reasons. That's all I can say right now. Yeah. So don't think I didn't, but most of them I think are long gone. The game kind of died out, unfortunately.
Yeah. Was that on the same channel, or was it a different channel?
It was the exact same channel. I just changed my name.
I was going back. Okay, gotcha. Because I was going back and looking. I saw your first video you posted was I think 7 years ago, if I saw correctly, at one point in time. Did you delete any videos that you posted in the past?
I did. Let's just say I wasn't the same person. I was
fair enough.
I was very angry with the state of the game, so I maybe said some things I shouldn't have said.
You voiced your opinion. You're speaking for the people, dude.
Yeah. Hey, if the video comes out, I'll own it, but I'm not gonna sit here and say that I was the easiest young adult at that time.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's totally fair. That's totally fair.
So this is not the first time I've been like in a podcast speaking about it. So full circle, here we are again, and I appreciate this opportunity, by the way.
Oh, dude,
and it's no way to demean it. I think it's a different tone now, though, and the reason being is, like I said, like I think now my attitude and life overall, I guess,
yeah, dude, you've only cussed me out like 4 or 5 times at this point. It's been very minimal.
Let's leave the Reese's Pieces conversation outside of this one.
We won't bring the candy tier list into it. That we almost didn't get this podcast recorded because of that alone, to be honest with you.
Dude, but guys, if you're listening, you gotta go watch that stream. At least the last part of it with the tier list. It's so funny, man.
We had to turn off it being family friendly and everything.
Fair warning. I got heated. But it was fun. I had a good time.
It's a blast. Those are always a good time. They always get heated, but they're always a good time.
So. But yeah, that's not my first time. And then I kind of, like I said, I really enjoyed it. There was a very small community, but again, like because the game died out and my passion for it also did. Like we kind of like went our separate ways, I guess, for lack of a better term. And most of us are kind of like doing our own thing.
Yeah.
And I've been working, so I came back pretty much this year. I dabbled in here and there with like little things I wanted to do, but
How long? Sorry to cut you off. I was going to ask,
It's
how
okay.
long had you been streaming and kind of back at it before you and I met?
So in terms of like when I started to like really lean back in it.
Yeah, because I mean, you were kind of all in on your current schedule and everything when you popped into stream and we met for the first time. I was just curious. I don't know if you can remember the timeline, but had you been back for a minute at that point?
Not really, no. I think, let's see here. If I can remember back far enough, I would just like, excuse me, I would occasionally like dabble in on different types of card games or whatever I was playing at the
Sure.
time. I would just, just upload it. I didn't expect anything out of it.
Yeah.
But what really changed, I'd have to say, is my first like Fall Guys live stream,
Yeah.
and I had my first viewer ever,
Oh,
right?
dude.
That was like
Yeah.
natural. That was like, it was not forced. It was not like I literally just got him from, I don't know, I guess the YouTube algorithm, right?
Yeah. It blessed
And
you.
ever since, I'm telling you, it like sparked something in me.
Yep.
And ever since then, I've been consistent. And I just, looking up advice online, I noticed that that was something that you probably should do, is like kind of like try to not at least the biggest thing is like deceive the expectations of the
Without
viewer. So if they
question.
exactly, so if they expect to at least hear from you at the minimum, like you should do that. If they
I agree.
expect you to be here at a certain time, like make sure they know that. And I learned that early on, like because there was a little bit of frustration on like my scheduling. So I said,
Sure.
okay, I gotta like sit down and like just make a schedule.
Yeah.
And been
Yeah.
sticking with it ever since. Ever since that moment that one viewer, and he knows who
Yeah.
he is. Witty. Witty is his name. He's
Oh, yeah. I've
the
seen Witty in
OG.
there. Yeah,
Yep,
man.
he is the OG right now. He
It's
has the
like
the only one with the title.
It's like your first lover or your first
Literally.
love. You never
Oh yeah.
forget them, no matter
Oh no.
what. So
I
your
never
first
could.
viewer, the exact same thing. Yeah, I still have mine. My first true viewer was Lay Aimbot, and I still remember him
Wow.
like it was yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It was like a Rogue Among Us stream I was doing with some buddies. And I was like,
Yeah.
what the heck? No one's gonna come in, might as well stream it. And
Right.
sure enough, he showed up, and you're right, dude. It just juices you.
Mm-hmm.
It absolutely does. Then all of a sudden
Yeah.
you want to take over the world. At that point, you're ready to go.
Yeah. All of a sudden you're starting to make a podcast.
Yeah, and now here we are.
Yeah,
Yeah, now
man.
here we
No,
are.
I'm happy, man. I'm
Yeah,
happy you understand what I'm saying. You
dude,
know what I mean? Like
100%. Yeah, it was.
it's
You mentioned a mistake that I made early on as well. Was early on I tried doing. Yeah, I'm gonna post a video every single day. And then it
oh
was like at
no.
that point you're just gonna burn yourself out. You don't have the
Yes.
editing skills. You don't have the recording skills.
Yes.
You sacrifice quality for quantity at that point,
Right.
so your quality sucks. No one watches any of them, so you're burning
Right.
yourself out for nothing. That's
Right.
exactly how it went too.
Yeah, exactly. It's like there's like the want, and then you have to be realistic. You have to be.
Yeah,
That's why I made a video discussing that to like everyone, like saying, look, man, like I'm gonna be honest, like I want to do like more of this, more of that, but
yeah,
realistically with having a work life, a
yeah.
personal life, right? I'm a married man, I got family as well. I got
Right.
my own personal friends, like
Yep.
I have to be realistic. And I think the viewers will 100% always understand that.
They're wonderful, and you're absolutely
Yeah.
correct. They absolutely do. And yes, the thing is, sometimes life gets in the way, and if you can't stream one day or something, yeah, at the very least, can you at least make a post and let them know, hey, I'm busy. I have X, Y, Z going on. I do
Yep.
apologize. No, I'm scheduled to stream today, but can't.
Yep.
And
Yep.
they're wonderful about it. But I think that's kind of the respect you can show back to them is can I communicate
Exactly.
that to you at the very least? And that's
One.
that's the bare minimum you can do.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I see like at least like on Twitter or any other forms of social media, will somebody be like, "Oh, well, what happened to that one giveaway you were gonna did?
Yep.
We got
Yep.
scammed." Like
Yeah.
it's you don't want to be that guy, man.
Well,
It's not good.
they feel cheated and they were.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I mean?
Right.
So satisfaction is what expectation versus what you actually deliver. So can you
Boom.
meet those? So you set the bar low, then rise above it, and they'll be that much more
Exactly.
satisfied. You know.
Exactly. Exactly. You
What
understand.
what was the motivation behind coming back? Just weren't ready to let that go to rest just yet.
No, it was always in the back of my mind. I
For
always
sure.
enjoyed it
For
because I
sure.
even made videos like on my Facebook. I remember like I
Yeah.
had like my whole like damn near my whole high school at it, and I would be like playing Destiny, so I would like save clips.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I just enjoy the process. I always did. I
It
just
is
never.
fun.
It is to me. I mean, look, everyone has their opinions on it, but to
Yep.
me personally, like it's a fun process. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy producing it when I have the time. But when
Yeah.
I do, Yeah, man, and I wish I could be, like, more I wish there was more of a storyline to it, but I swear
Sure.
VTice on everything, like, I think, like, I heard that Fall Guys was free,
Yeah.
and I just said, "I'm just gonna stream it." Like, I
Sure.
wish I could tell you, like, "Hey, like, I planned this, and this was, like, a whole thing," and,
Yep.
like, an angel came to me and said, "You will stream." Like, I swear, like, I just
Yeah.
woke up one day, said, "Hey, I'm gonna just try to stream this game and see what happens," and the rest is history. It's kinda crazy, like, in my perspective, if I could say anything to, like, you or anyone else listening, like, just do it. It
You have
doesn't
to
hurt, like
take the leap.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
not even exactly. It's not even like there's a right or wrong way, because I think even Ludwig, I keep hearing, like, advice from, like, because I do my research. I try to see,
Totally.
like, what's right, what's wrong. I try to, like, look up, like, like, what works and what doesn't. I mean,
Yeah.
Stream Scheme, I don't know if you ever watched that channel on YouTube,
I
is his
haven't,
name.
no.
Okay, so I highly recommend him. He's the advice that I took, and his advice was that Ludwig told him, and Ludwig's huge, by the way.
Yeah.
He could
Oh,
this
yeah.
guy can play anything and
Yep. Yeah,
gets
I am
thousands.
familiar with Ludwig.
Okay, so his advice was that consistency is more better or more beneficial for your channel than any type of creativity. So the fact that you're even, like, consistently streaming, for example,
Yeah.
says more to the audience than if you were to, like, do some mind-blowing, like, super thing on stream. You know what I'm trying to
Right.
say?
What good
That
is it if you're an all-star, but you're an all-star every other week?
exactly.
Right? Or just
Exactly.
at random increments. On a Tuesday you ball out and then you don't ball out until the following Thursday. And then you
Yeah,
don't ball
yeah,
out for a week. Right?
yeah.
So yeah,
So I
that's the thing is I can appreciate people that have a nonchalant attitude. I have some type B in me to that extent, which I have to kind of combat sometimes. But at the same time, you're absolutely correct. Consistency is key, and being reliable is key.
exactly. And like I said, ever since that first spark, I kinda, like, really, like, dove into, like, okay, this actually could be there's, like,
Oh,
there's a potential here,
yeah,
and took it to heart ever since. So that's the one thing I would say that, really, like, is the hallmark of, like, what I would like to do is to just
yeah,
maintain that consistency and,
yeah,
whether not overpromise,
yeah.
just say, "Hey, this is what I would like to do. This is what I'm gonna do,"
Yep.
et cetera, et cetera, yeah.
Yep. That was the other thing I was going to say, too. When we were doing the plugs, I forgot to include this part. And speaking of consistency, you stream consistently Thursday through Sunday. And I don't want to get this wrong, at 4:30 Eastern time.
Yeah, 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 that's
Yeah.
right. Yep, every
Yeah.
Thursday through Sunday. Obviously, holidays, I like to spend with family, and
Yep.
if anything happens, I will 100% let people know, but for the most part,
VTice
yeah.
asked you to be on the podcast.
Hey, and you know
Some
what? This
Christmas, birthdays, family
eh,
obligations, VTice podcast. Really the four things
yes,
that can get
yes,
you off.
and
So
I'm
I
telling you,
appreciate
man,
that.
absolutely, man, absolutely. For you, man,
Well,
100%.
you're the man, dude. I appreciate that. You certainly didn't have to, and I do appreciate it. So, um, well, yeah, by the way, I still don't have a name for the podcast. I was gonna go with the No Name Podcast. The idea being is that it's for no name creators, and then also
Yeah,
I couldn't think of a name, but that's already taken. So it might just end up being the VTice Pod. We'll figure that out down the road. If you have any clever
yeah.
suggestions, please let me know.
I will. I will. I'll
So
think
I'll
of
keep.
something. I'll see
Yeah,
if it clicks. I'll hit you up. I got you.
you're a heck of a lot more creative than I am, so we'll see. So we'll
I
see if
don't know.
anything comes to mind. But I appreciate you in advance when you come
Of
up with a
course, man.
name. So
We'll figure something out, brother. I got you back.
yep. So and just to be clear, you only stream on YouTube. Is that correct? You don't do a
Yeah, yeah.
multi-platform stream or anything.
At the moment, no.
Yeah.
However, I am not against it.
Yeah, here's the one thing I will say, and I still to this day do not know what the issue was, but on Streamlabs, I was originally doing YouTube and Twitch at the exact same time,
Okay.
streaming, and my stream just kept crashing, and it was an absolute nightmare. And I didn't do it for the
Yeah.
first, I don't know, 2, 3 months, but then we went through a period where every stream would crash, and I still don't know what happened. So I switched off of
Yeah.
Streamlabs, switched just strictly to YouTube at that point. Didn't like the interface of Stream Elements, and they stole all my money from my merch that I set up. I bought trial merch. That's a rant for another
Oh,
day. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm
what?
still trying to work that out now. That's besides the point. But
What a mess.
yeah, it is. It absolutely is. So then I went just strictly YouTube, and I didn't like the interface as much. I missed Streamlabs, so
Yeah.
I just tried it. I just fired it back up, gave it another chance, and so far, knocking on wood,
Yeah, same
that
here.
holds and no more crashes. I appreciate you. no more
I got
crashes,
you.
because that was miserable dealing with that. I wouldn't put that on my worst enemies.
Yeah, exactly, because it's like it ruins the flow of the stream. Because let's say
Yeah,
again, first impressions are everything. So if you got a
yeah.
new viewer, he comes in and you're just crashing the whole time,
Yeah. Well,
bruh.
and it would go from, you have 20, 25 viewers, stream crashes, you fire it back up, now you're at 5, now you're at 10 or whatever. So it
Right.
just kills all momentum,
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
don't blame
exactly.
people for leaving. I don't want to watch that either if the stream's going to keep
Yeah,
crashing.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because there's a flow to things.
Totally.
Yeah, I don't
Totally.
know if that was more of like a technical like thing with the whole Twitch and YouTube.
I
Um,
know the answer was that I'm just an idiot when it comes to technology, but yeah, dude, I exhausted every resource I possibly could to try to fix it, and I still don't. So you'd be able to figure it out, and knock on wood, and good luck to you if you do the multi-stream. The other thing that is a little bit weird about it, but it wasn't too problematic. But so basically, you would have a chat, and it
mhm,
has red for YouTube viewer and purple for Twitch viewer. So the only
mhm.
issue is it confuses viewers that if they're new or they just if they haven't heard you talk about it. If they don't know you're streaming on another platform, they're sitting there confused, wondering who you're talking to.
Okay.
Because they don't see. So Twitch users don't see the YouTube chat. YouTube viewers don't see the Twitch
You know
chat.
what?
So then
I
they're just super confused.
that's such a good point, man. Because
Right.
I was just thinking about now that you like started talking about that, it brought back this TikTok streamer that I was watching.
Yep.
And the whole time he was talking to his TikTok chat, and I was just sitting there confused. Because I'll like
Yeah.
hop in, yeah, hop in every once in a while on Twitch. I mean, I'm not like crazy about it, but I'll head over
Sure.
there and I'll see what's going on. And you're totally right about that. So like, what are you supposed to do? Like, I guess you would have to. It would be just more of a mouthful because you could say like, I don't know, VTice on TikTok says, you know what
Yeah.
I mean, and then you have to say like, such and such from Twitch says like that sounds like more of a pain than a
I
pleasure.
I a little bit, but it's nice at the same time. If you're able to manage that fairly well, if you can keep on reminding people that there are Twitch viewers as well, if for your
Yeah.
YouTube audience and vice versa for your Twitch audience, if you're able to manage it, it's a great way to grow on both platforms,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I heard that's the way to go, man.
So there's
I don't know
certainly
the
pros and
like
cons to it.
yeah, I wouldn't know like the logistics of it, but I
Yeah,
can't like I would like I said, I'm that's why I told you earlier. Like I'm not against the idea of it. I'm
yeah,
open to it.
yeah.
I just don't know if that would be something at this point that I should do now because it makes sense if
Right,
Ninja does it, right? Everyone
right,
freaking knows Ninja, right?
right. Exactly.
He went multi-platform. It's like, yeah, well, duh,
Yeah,
but if I do it, I don't really have like a Twitch like audience if that even begins to make sense. Like I wouldn't
only
even know how
one
to
way to build one, brother. You know.
exactly is to
At the
get
same
started.
time
Yeah,
is to be on there and take that leap. So, did
exactly.
you
Yeah,
did
yeah.
you ever try Twitch? You have a Twitch. I know that. I've
Hmm.
seen your Twitch before. Have you ever streamed on? Did you start on Twitch? Have you ever tried Twitch? Did you just make it so
I
you have
have
the username?
that too. That was the main thing. I wanted to make sure I have the username,
Yep.
but it is not. I did stream on Twitch before to like it's a little to no success. But that was because I was much younger
Sure.
and I didn't really understand what it takes.
Sure.
Because let's just be honest. And again, like I feel like I'm gonna be promoting Stream Scream the whole
Oh,
Stream
dude,
Scheme the
let it
whole
rip. If they're helpful, they're helpful.
he's extremely helpful.
Yeah.
Most of your growership happens outside of your stream. Now
Right.
YouTube is really good at pushing streams. Like
Sure.
when you look at the analytics, and I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it will tell you like what videos your video was recommended from. So say like
Right. Right.
right, so I can like go to my analytics and I can see like it was like some obscure viewer. I think it was Bergie Bud. I don't know if you heard of him.
Yeah. Yep.
His
Yeah. I know
videos
Birdie.
okay, so
He's a good dude.
his videos would recommend my live stream. So people would be watching his videos
Interesting.
and then it would direct them to me. You see?
Yeah.
So YouTube is extremely good at that. I think
Totally.
I think our growship is 100% like partly I would say like almost 70% in part of
Oh,
YouTube being so good at that.
I
It's
bet.
incredible.
I
Yeah,
bet. Yeah.
yeah.
It significantly trumps Twitch in relation to discoverability. Because Twitch,
Absolutely.
if you and I went on Twitch and if we have, 1 viewer, 5 viewers, whatever it may be, you're just buried under stacks of lists where they would have to scroll so far down to find you. It's unrealistic for anyone to come in and actually find you on there.
Yeah. Versus like these guys who are already watching the big guys could get recommended your stuff.
Right.
That is like insane.
Right.
Like,
it's
invaluable.
It's a big issue that Twitch is currently dealing with, and I don't know how they fix it unless that's how they do it. Is a recommended you may also like kind of screen, similar to what YouTube has. But yeah, I don't know. The discoverability is a big one, and that's a big reason why I think YouTube trumps Twitch, especially when you're just starting out, especially when you're small.
Exactly right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, again, and going back to what his advice was your content outside of your stream is what grows you. That is true if you are like a Twitch creator versus on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I'm starting out and I get a certain type of following. I 100% would be more comfortable like saying, hey guys, let's say like on this day, I'll head over to Twitch if you want to come watch. Versus before, it was like the reverse where like, that's just my position that I'm in now. Now, again, like you said, take the leap, but 100% like I think that made a big like help for I'm kind of stumbling over my words.
You're good.
So let me try to rephrase that.
No, you're way
I think
good,
like it was a big help that YouTube is like that. However, I still would emphasize like some type of content if possible.
Yep.
But it's just like YouTube's just so good. Like I can't even comfortably say that. Like I can't even tell people like make all these videos and make all these shorts because like YouTube like kind of like takes care of people, man. Like better than I expected. I didn't expect nothing, man. I thought it was gonna be like, Twitch all over again. But when I started really like delving into the analytics and how things work, I'm like genuinely, I'm almost like taken aback. Like, okay, there's really something here. There really is something here.
Totally. No, yeah, I completely agree. Do you try to make an effort or try to schedule anything in terms of posting to social media?
Yeah, so
'cause I'm awful at it. Capital A.
Yeah. It's hard, man. Like I can't even begin to tell you like what's the proper way to go about Twitter and Instagram besides like post and interact. But in terms of like YouTube, obviously, it's good to do something periodically, whether it be a shorter video. Now I know that this year shorts are huge, so I if I had to tell you one thing, try to do that. Whether you or whoever's listening, like that's definitely the way to go. You'd be surprised. I can't talk, man. Let me get some water real quick.
You're good, brother. You're good. Take your time, man. Take your time.
I'm getting excited, dude.
Yeah, I'm here for it, brother.
Okay, so you'd be surprised the amount of subscribers I'd get from a short, and I think we talked about this off stream a little bit. Like, I'm like, how? It doesn't make sense to me, but I'm here for it and I'm grateful for it. So I think if I had to recommend like a schedule or like if I had to recommend how you would go about social media, for sure, like some type of post, whether it be periodically or at least like I know your plan is to at least do a podcast a week. I think that's perfect. Because at the same time, like you've got your life, you've got your job, which is not like you're not over here just, scanning things at a register. No offense to those people. But I know your job is a little more dynamic than like a set schedule.
It's time consuming.
Exactly. Very time consuming. I know like you have like kind of like not a sporadic schedule, but like a schedule that's not exactly like 9 to 5. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, fair.
Right. So the fact that you even like are setting out to do that is more than enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like knowing the tags that you do, knowing the hashtags to use and like really pushing it out there.
Definitely.
That is better than nothing because that's what's really going to help you grow. Even if you don't see it now. Like you said, like I said, like when we spoke off stream, like even though it may not be like explosive, although I knock on wood, I wish the best for it and I know it will. It may not show up now, but it'll pay dividends later.
Totally. Yeah. Well, that's the thing that, and I try to say that to people when stream and everything is, think of it this way versus trying to blow up off of one video. When you consistently grow, because that is much more likely than you exploding one day out of the complete blue. And it's very, very unlikely, next to impossible, that your random video about your Let's Play on whatever it may be, and I've done this, there's a 0.001% chance that explodes. However, once you consistently build an audience, that video will pay off because people will go back and watch your old content once they do subscribe to you. So it's not that you're not doing it for nothing. You're also learning how to edit. You're learning how to talk to the camera, worry about your uhs and your ums, different things like, just different communication skills with stream and things, or with just talking to the camera for a VOD, even if you're off stream. Different things like that, because some people just want to do, and it's originally how I started, was I originally just wanted to do VODs. I had no intention to stream. Yeah. And then I just kind of dabbled with it, tried it a couple of times, and enjoyed it. Then to your point, you get that one viewer, and then it's just like, yeah, I'll just stream 24-hour marathons every single day, 7 days a week, 365. You just get that push. You do. And I second what you said about the shorts. There is nothing that pumps you out to more random people, more new viewers.
Yeah.
Than the shorts, for sure.
Yeah. It's no question. I would say that's something that I would recommend anyone to do this year. Like I said, YouTube's really like pushing it this year.
Yep.
Especially with the way they're monetizing it is outstanding.
Yeah, I agree. They made good decisions.
Yeah. I think they're really trying to they're trying to take over TikTok, man. I'm gonna be honest.
I think so too. Yeah, try to control the entire space.
Exactly. And if they do that, I mean, what can you say at that point?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, and I'm already working on that content. So, hey, YouTube, if you want to keep this up, you keep making the right decisions.
Absolutely.
A lot of videos ready to come.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah. So, hey, but yeah, that's the one thing. And then obviously, like periodically, like post, even if it's something goofy, like, hey, look, I ate this burrito for afternoon. Like, I don't know, man. It's just good to, I guess, like, give some people some insight who are following you on those social media platforms, because even if it's just one, like, like you said, you get it. You get that one follower, you get that one viewer, and yeah, you want to, you don't want to neglect them too much.
100%.
So, yeah, I wouldn't emphasize too much on like maybe Twitter and Insta, but definitely like posting periodically on YouTube is the way to go, I'd say.
Do you what's the word? Like almost not repost, but like, so if you post one to TikTok, do you also make that like an Instagram reel? Do you also make that a YouTube short? You kind of put it on different platforms?
Occasionally. And the reason being is because obviously like they all kind of like work off each other.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's like a horrible idea to say like, hey, this is a video I made on my TikTok. Check it out on Insta, for example. You know what I mean? Like, but I think like you should also kind of diversify in the sense that like, you should try this type of content on this platform, try that type of content on this platform, and then have a way to like have them intermingle. You know, I think I'm not saying that it's working for me because I just started, relatively speaking, at least compared to other people, but
it's not working.
Exactly. I don't see how it would be a bad idea to do that. No, like maybe not too much, but that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's like my personal beliefs are conflicting with what I should do. And what I mean by that is, like should I post like the same TikToks on Reels? Probably.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if that's something that I would want to see as a viewer. Does that make sense?
100%. It's one of those things where if I'm a big fan of Yugi601 / Yugi Boy, if I watch it on his YouTube and then I go to Instagram and I see it again, and then I switch over to Twitter later that night and I see it again, it almost becomes kind of repetitive. And that's the thing we talked about, is viewers can see through the bullshit. And as a viewer, I don't know if I'd like that personally.
Yeah. I'll give you an example. Like, and this happened to me recently, I was watching this guy. I can't remember his name right now off the top of my head, but he has like amazing shorts. It was like skits,
Yeah.
Like making jokes of like certain types of people. Like, this is the guy who always overdressed at a club, or not at a club. I'm sorry. Like, this is the guy who's always overdressed at a family meeting. It was really funny. Hilarious. It was like different skits like that. Like, oh, this is the type of person who likes to sell shoes online.
We all know this guy. Yeah, right.
Yeah, we all know this guy, and it was hilarious. Loved it. So I went on his YouTube page, started looking at his social media.
Yep,
they're all the same.
Yep.
So why would I scroll through your Insta if I already just saw all this stuff? So it's just like, what for you, right? Like, if I want to get to know more VTice, right, and I want to go to your Insta and I want to see like, oh, and I think you did have a picture of like you were like chilling at like a mountain or of some sort. Like, that's cool. Like that, I actually like want to see. Yeah. Versus if I go there and it's like, I know you can't do this, but again, like, entertain this idea for a second. But if it's just like another short that I saw you do on your Instagram, it just feels to me personally, again, I don't know if I'm probably 100% wrong on
No,
this, and I should be reposting things, but it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, it's there's two ways to look at it, right? It
Yeah.
increases your discoverability if you have a really good short / TikTok / Instagram reel. So I want everyone to see this because this is a hilarious clip, and someone may not who's seen it for the first time on Instagram may not see it on TikTok. So then maybe I can find a follower from that, right?
Yeah,
Because they may see it. So it makes sense from that aspect. But then for the people who already follow you consistently, it's kind of like when you hear a new song like this is banging. I will never get tired of this song. This is the greatest song I will ever listen to in my life. And then all of a sudden you play it too much and then you're sick of it. That song's trash. I'm so sick and tired of that song, right? So it's kind of similar to that. There's two schools of thought, and maybe that changes as your following grows versus discoverability versus entertainment. The way I see Instagram is it's just a way to like let the followers see an inside scope of your world, right? Hey, I climbed this mountain today. I almost died. Needed CPR. Things like that. Versus that, I may have told the story on, I don't know, it puts a picture of the stories you tell on stream, different things like that, right?
That's a good point. That's a very good point, actually.
So,
wow, I didn't even think about that. Look at that. VTice giving the insight.
Well, I don't do it, but it makes sense in my head at least.
Yeah,
so.
No, that's that. There's something there. Hold on, like that makes perfect sense. Like, hey guys, so I posted this on Instagram. Boom, they'll head over and maybe check it out, and you'll be like, I ate this burrito. I posted it on Instagram. It freaking destroyed me. Now I'm on the toilet. That's why I'm late to the stream. Like that's And you think about that. See, look at that. Because I was actually gonna ask you if I could get a screenshot of us our characters on Halo Infinite. I was gonna put that on Instagram.
Oh, dude, 100%. Yeah, brother. Absolutely. Yeah.
We'll get that later if you don't mind.
Yeah, dude, 100%. Yeah, I got that. I already got the screen capture ready to go after you flamed me on YouTube with that screen capture you got of my idiotic face that I was making on that. So I already got the screen capture ready to go for when you do your face reveal. Oh, hey, by the way, can you talk about that a little bit? Can you talk about the face reveal, and what your viewers have to do, are doing to complete the challenge? Kind of go into detail about that because I love the idea.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so again, like I don't know where these come from. I just give thanks to God that I came up with this idea because I literally just thought of it like laying down. But I was actually watching other people's face reveals, and I noticed. Well, let me go back a little bit. But first of all, I have to understand the position that I'm in because I didn't really want to.
Yeah.
But I also have to understand that things are different for us.
Sure.
In the sense that, you know what I mean? Like we really got to earn our following.
Yeah. Like, dude, totally.
So I have to be realistic and say, okay, I should probably do it at 1,000 subs because I'm officially monetized and people will be investing in me.
Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah. And I appreciate that. Yeah. It's an honor.
Yep.
So I feel like being in that position would be best to do it then. So there's that. So I was looking at different face reveals of what different people did. Typically, and I haven't seen them all, but typically, and maybe somebody in the comments can correct me if I'm wrong, typically it's just like a video like, hey, it's me, right?
Yeah.
What's up,
like peeling the mask off or something.
Right. Yeah. Something goofy, and it's just like, that's it.
Yeah.
And I thought like, okay, like I don't want to do that. I want to be a little different, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, primarily I'm a streamer. That's first and foremost. It seems to be my main audience is from my streams.
Right.
So how could I tie the face reveal to the streams? And that's, again, it just came to me. I can't tell you where I got it from, but it just kind of came to me like, okay, if I can come up with like a way for them to unlock it with the stream points, because Streamlabs is real cool with the way their loyalty system works and the point systems work.
Very unique, very easy to do as well. I completely agree.
Yes. I cannot emphasize it enough. If you guys want to, especially if you're in our like realm, our size, less than 1,000, less than 10, I would highly recommend you do that because it just not only does it make the chat look alive, but it gives people a little bit more of an incentive to hang out.
Totally, dude.
Even if it's something dumb like to redeem you drinking water, because people do that. Because people do that on Twitch, right? It'll be like they watch this guy for X amount of time, they'll remind them to drink water. Like, goofy, but there's a little bit of interaction there, and I think
Yeah.
I couldn't emphasize that enough. So I wanted to tie that into the face reveal, tie
Love
the
it.
stream into the face reveal instead of just like showing up and saying, "Hey, this is me."
Yep.
Make it so that like it's like a challenge because I'm gonna tell you, these guys love a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, and
They
they've
love a
accepted
challenge,
it. I've been
and
in
they
stream
accepted
and
it.
I'm very aware how quickly they're making hay on their
Yeah, yeah. So
challenge.
they're I want to say there's 40 pieces total that they have to unlock to get my face. So I should actually explain it. So
Sure. Yeah.
um yeah, so the way I did it was in order to unlock my face cam from here henceforth on my streams, I have a picture of me and a picture of my wife, my co-host, Lady Yugi.
Yep. Shout
And
out.
big shout out to her, right? Um we split it into pieces and then you can unlock those pieces with those stream points. And now the stream points you get from watching the stream every like 5 minutes, you get paid out a certain amount of points.
Yep.
And you can use that to unlock pieces of our faces. And then once both our faces are revealed, we'll unlock our face reveal.
Love it.
I think it's a good way to again like remember that it's the streams that
Yeah.
kind of got me to where I'm at.
Yeah.
A good way for interactivity, add a little bit of stakes, add a little bit of a challenge because again, everyone likes a nice challenge.
Audience
Every
engagement. Totally.
Yeah. And I think it would be, it sounds cool. Like as a viewer, again,
I agree.
if
No,
if
I
I
completely
was
agree.
if I was a viewer on someone's channel, right, XYZ's channel,
Yep.
it feels good knowing like, hey, I unlocked his face cam. Like now he's here because I worked for it. Not worked for it in the sense that like it was a displeasure, but
Yeah.
like it was like a fun thing. Like because I'm doing little challenges because I'm not giving that much actually. I'm really making them like try to earn it. And the
Yeah.
reason being is because we do like little challenges here. Like one of them is timeout on jump around. And
Yeah. I like
for
that.
those of you who don't know, like in Fall Guys, I think like if you survive a certain amount of time, it'll be considered a timeout and multiple people win.
Yep.
So what we do is like
Yep.
depending on how many people time out, I'll give everyone X amount of chips
Yep.
and then or points, and they can use that to unlock a piece. So there's a lot
Love
of like
it.
back and forth, and oh yeah, it's been a blast. And
I've never seen anything like it. I think it's
right,
super, super unique, and I agree. I think had you gone the former approach you described, it does remind you of kind of what everybody is, where they just kind of show
yeah,
the face cam, say, "Hi, here's my face." They make a joke about their appearance, and then they just move
yeah,
on like it was like they've always had it on this entire time.
yeah. And I think I'm gonna be honest, I really didn't want to.
Yeah,
But again, like reflecting back on my position where I'm at, I have to kind of humble myself and realize like I really think that my content would be elevated if I did. You
totally.
know what I
I mean,
mean?
it's one of those things. It's another way for the audience to feel more connected to you, right?
Correct,
It's
correct.
another way to engage with the audience. There's pros and cons to having it, certainly.
Yeah, yeah. And again, maybe excuse me, I'm sorry, maybe at like a later date,
Yeah.
I can kind of emphasize as to why that is. But you know what? Like you said, you'll be better connected. It elevates the content in the sense that like there are periods when you're a little quiet. They're
Yeah.
gonna be like, "Are you alive? Are you
Yeah.
there?"
Yeah.
And when you don't have your face showing, they're like, "Is this guy good? Like,
Well,
what is he doing?"
and it's one of those things too. Hey, crew, I'll be right back. I'm going to run to the restroom real quick. I'm going to go reload my water, something like that. For someone who comes in at the exact wrong time, there was like, oh, this is one of those streamers that doesn't even talk, let alone
Exactly.
FaceCam doesn't even talk, so I'm out. And then, I
Yeah.
mean, like, that's a first impression.
Exactly. So you completely get that. Like, I don't want to be that guy.
Well, just be ready. What's going to happen is once you have the face cam, and then anytime you get up, your entire, well, if your audience is anything like mine where they just roast you the whole time, which maybe is not the case, but they'll cheer and clap for the chair stream. Anytime you're
See?
out of it. Yeah.
There you go.
But I mean,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's audience engagement, right?
Exactly.
So,
So there's things like that. There's nonverbal expressions, right?
yes.
So you can
Yeah.
look at the camera and kind of make a funny face, like, and I
Yep.
do that a lot, but they don't see it.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Yeah.
I do that a lot. I'm always looking at people like, what the heck did you just write?
Right.
So
Are there any
that's
Are there sorry to cut you off. Are there any
it's okay.
fears you have going into it? Because there were certainly fears that I had. The thing was, when I switched to a face cam, I didn't really have any sort of an audience at the time, so it wasn't necessarily a big switch. But I was still
Yeah.
apprehensive about putting the face cam on.
Yeah, completely understandable. Yeah, because everyone has their personal boundaries. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, like I was more like I never want to do it. I
Yeah.
was even looking up like the biggest, non face cam streamers, and
Yep.
I mean, as much as I didn't, I had to also realize like number one, like again, like the audience wants to connect with someone, and I
Totally.
just feel like there is a little bit of a disconnect. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like
Yeah.
it's like the elephant in the room. You know what I
Definitely.
mean? Like
Yeah.
so there's that. I have to also realize again and humble myself that I'm not really as big as those who don't. So, usually the people that don't show their face cam, they're pretty huge and there's a reason for that. So I
Yes.
kind of have to like humble
They
myself and realize that like they do provide something that I just do not do.
they tend to be the all-stars, right? They
Exactly.
they tend to
Exactly.
just have insane gameplay, and they're like the 1%. I always think the ones that make it big without the face cam, at least now, they seem to be the exception, not the rule, right?
Precisely, precisely. And that's exactly what kind of like made me get over myself, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
And third and lastly, like, with my personal job that, like I said, we'll get into maybe like later down the year, like
Sure.
my face is already in the public. Like
Yeah.
if you're in my area, you know who I am, you know what I look like, you know what I'm about. So it's like I kind of have to like accept that as well.
The jig is up,
And
Yugi. We all know you're a
yeah.
you're a famous model. So we already know
Oh
who
my
you
gosh.
are.
Dude, don't even get me started on the comments with because they're
Yeah.
almost like halfway there. And I swear, I'm like, you guys are children, right? Like you can't be saying these things.
Right.
Oh
Right.
my. But it's a good time. I try not to take it to heart.
Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely. So it'll be one of those things, dude. At the same time, the audience moves on so fast. Once they see your face for the first time, you'll be getting comments about it. Obviously, stream 1, probably stream 2 and 3. And it'll just get less and less, and then it's just normalized at that
Yeah.
point. So, are you guys gonna do one face cam for both of you? Is Lady Yugi gonna be on on a face cam as well? Two separate face cams? How is that gonna work?
Sure. So as of now, we don't have like a setup to do that to
Yeah,
where there's like two, but that would be really cool. And that's something that, we kind of entertain to where like
sure.
if it gets to a point to where we can support ourselves with it,
Yeah,
I would love to have like one on her and her gameplay and one of mine and my gameplay on the same screen. That would be
yeah,
legendary.
yeah. That would be
Um
cool.
yeah,
That would
seriously.
be
So
really cool.
it's like one of those things to where like again like I'm just working with what I got. So she doesn't plan on being on the face cam that much, but she'll
Sure,
pop in here and there.
sure.
And again, that's only because of just the setup that we're working with. Now over
Yeah,
time, as we make upgrades and improvements and
yeah. I saw
quality
you're working
quality
your
of
way to a new laptop right now.
yes,
Yeah,
because we have like issues with that because we ran that tournament which was huge by the
yep.
way. It was a
Massive,
massive blessing,
massive.
yeah.
You guys killed
And
it.
oh my god, yeah, I loved it. And I want to do another one, obviously a little more structured, a little more better, but to maintain that, professional environment. Cause like, look, man, like Fall Guys is a goofy game, man, but
It
these kids take
is.
it serious.
It's
So
true.
I gotta really like give them that respect. And nobody wants to see like stream lag,
Sure.
in the middle. And unfortunately, that's an issue that I deal with. And
Yeah.
it doesn't seem to deter the audience completely, but it is like a little bit of a irritation.
Well, it kills chat momentum is the biggest
Right.
thing for me is because then everybody's just gonna let you know stream lag, stream lag, stream lag, right? And
Yeah.
then it was just like,
Right.
okay, what was I even talking about now?
Yeah, exactly.
Things
You're
like
not
that. But
Yeah, you can't just like completely just ignore that. Like that's
if
a big deal.
if you wait to start until all your equipment is perfect, you're just never gonna start. Right. So
Exactly,
start
exactly.
somewhere. And I mean, all the big ones they talk about it is, like a lot of them, they like spoke into the mic from, you remember like those original, half the cats listen to this don't even know what I'm talking about. But originally, the iPhone headphones, they had a microphone in them. There's
Mm,
streamers that have made it big now where that's what they originally talked into was the Apple iPod, iPhone microphone on the headphones.
right,
It was,
right.
you know what I mean? It's just you got to start somewhere. And at the very least,
Exactly.
you're just learning skill sets while you start with bad technology, like that will
Yeah,
improve.
absolutely. Yeah. Like
So,
I have to make sure that if we're gonna do that again, like I want it to be at least the best possible it can be. I'm not like promising,
totally.
Super Bowl quality, but at the very least, like a minor thing like lag, I should get on top of first.
That's a
So
good one. That's a good one to knock out, right? They always
yeah.
say, a lot of, and I know you know this as well from doing research, is For people wondering where to start with technology, I know a big one that I always heard people talk about that were giving tips and tricks for starting to stream or make videos or content of any kind was get your voice right first. The face cam can come down the road, but it's one thing if I'm looking at a bad image. It's another thing if your voice is all muffled or it's just poor audio quality. I ain't going to sit here and listen to that. You're going to give me a damn migrane after a while.
Exactly.
So nothing will deter them faster. And I don't know what mic you use, but you use a nice one.
Dude, I use like a Blue Yeti from 2015, man.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Half of that though is filters, man.
Oh, and really?
I can't again, like I can't begin to emphasize. It's funny that the same platform I use for streaming is the same platform that helps me get to where I'm at, because the settings that I found was online.
Right.
And again, I apologize that I can't remember the name of the video right now, but if I that would be the one thing I would tell people, like, please check this out, because there's so much free help on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, you can't go to Twitch and look this up, man. I'm telling you.
No, you can't.
It's just amazing. Like, and
sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. You got this, like, again, this super old, like, ancient microphone that I had, and it sounds great. And I'm so grateful that I have like resources to kind of like help me understand, like, this is what this does.
Yes.
Gain does this, noise suppression does this. This may happen if you do this, try this, test this out. I can't tell you. I think for like a whole month, actually, I would be like testing different pitches and tones of my mic next to my wife, and she thinks I look nuts. So testing different tones, and she's like, this guy is insane. He's like to his mic, but these are things that's the steps you have to do, man.
It really is. It really is. And yeah, you're right. You sound like an idiot doing it, but how else are you going to get it right? You're correct. The most helpful one for me was the noise gate, and that's the one that cuts off kind of the extra sounds in your background. So if you have a fan going on behind you, that noise gate, it doesn't pick up the lesser audio. It only picks up your voice, essentially. That's a massive one.
Right. So, all those little things, dude, I had no idea about. That was new to me, because it's amazing, like, the depth of like audio editing. Like, man, because I can edit a video all day, but then like the way audio works, that's I can understand now why there's literally like audio engineers, because there is like an art to it almost.
It really is. It really is. And you're right. The depth of how far you can take it, I mean, that's the thing, is with the right amount of research, and if you grind on your research, it's going to set you up that much better. It's a lot easier than learning on the fly, because if you just hit record one day and you do no research beforehand, you're just going to get overwhelmed. But hey, can I knock out an hour of let me test out some audio, different things, let me do some research on that. Okay, let's move on to video editing, different things like that. You can break it up, but you're absolutely correct. If you try to just start fresh day one, there's no way. You're just going to be too overwhelmed.
Yeah, and that's not to gas it again. Like, I know we're relatively small streamers, but I thought, like, if I could get like a small audience with just my voice, like, imagine what I could do with my face.
Dude, seriously, I mean? It's just that much more. Yeah, that's a good point too. I mean, the fact that you were able to get monetized with just voice, it is incredibly impressive.
Right.
It really is.
So I was like, I gotta at least, like you said, make sure that the audio sounds solid.
Yeah.
It's if you're gonna just be hearing my trap
for
3 hours, it's gotta sound good.
Might as well let it sound okay at the very least. So
literally,
let's kind of talk about that. So what are some things you've learned, being that we are relatively new, being that we are relatively small, what are some things that you've learned along the way, mistakes that you've made, things like that?
So I'm gonna be honest, most of what I learned was from, again, Stream Scheme.
Yep.
I cannot emphasize him enough. He really, because one of the things I would tell you that I was hesitant on was, one example I'll say, is like whether or not I should be banning people, right?
Yeah, good one.
When you're first starting, right, you've only got 5 viewers. You really want to ban 3 of them?
You'll take
really
more abuse.
Exactly. You'll be like, well, at least he's here. Like, I'll let him say, whatever he wants. But then I watched his video explaining, like, hey, it's actually gonna kill your channel.
Yeah.
If you don't, there's some
community.
People. Yeah, exactly. Literally yesterday, I have this guy, VTice. You ready for this? I have this
Talk
guy.
to me.
He likes to speed run getting timed out. So he'll just.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, that was the fastest I've been timed out. I just wasn't for it yesterday. I just banned him because You know, like you're the only one like coming in here saying the craziest thing you could possibly say rather than
Right.
just like, I don't know, hello?
Yeah,
All right.
exactly.
Let's start with that at least. Can we at least like greet each
Yeah.
other? Hey, what's up? How you doing? No, he just has to come in and say crazy stuff. So it's
Yeah.
just it not only it ruins the chat, right? It ruins the vibe. It ruins you, man, because
It does.
you just don't have the time for it sometimes. Sometimes you're not in a good mood. And
Right.
sometimes and a lot of times actually, like the viewers get me in a better mood. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
you can like
Without
relate, but like
question.
right, like you're just like, man, I'm not feeling it
A
today.
hundred
I'll try
percent.
to stream anyway, because not that because like I have to, but because like
Yeah.
I should,
Yep.
right? I should.
Yep.
I should stream today. I haven't done it in a while. Whatever your reasoning may be, but
Yeah.
you'll do that and then like the viewers almost like uplift you.
It's
And I'm
true.
like, damn, like I was really having a bad day, but you know what, man? You guys made it a lot better.
It's kind of like going to the gym where sometimes you don't want to
Yes.
go that day, but you force yourself just walk through the door. And then sometimes those are your best workouts. The exact same way with the streams sometimes. You're just
Yeah.
not feeling it. But hey, I told everyone I would. I said I'd be on. And then sometimes those
Yeah.
are the best streams, the most fun you have.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
got to
You'd
hit
be
that go
surprised.
live button.
Exactly. So I think that's what I learned early on is to kind of like shut things down
Yeah.
that you need to shut down quick.
Yeah.
I think that improved the overall community. I mean, there's literally been times where I've told people like, I think this would be a lot better community without you. Honestly.
Fair.
Yeah,
Well, that's the thing
yeah.
too. Is plus, if you let someone come in there and start talking crazy or just being disrespectful to you, Lady Yugi, somebody else, and you leave them there for no other fact of, well, I mean, it's another viewer. Then at
Yeah.
that point, it's just okay. So you just gave everyone the right of way in the past to just talk the same way. And at that
Exactly.
point, that's your fault, not theirs.
Right.
Just like, well, you let that
right.
other guy stay talking all that crazy mess.
Yeah. And in fairness, man, like I'm still learning because I try not to be the fun police, right?
Right.
I'm not above
Exactly.
having a little bit of a good time, having some friendly banter.
Yep.
And you got to make sure you emphasize that because there's a difference between friendly banter and like talking
Exactly.
trash because some people
Yeah.
take it too far, man.
Ruining somebody's day.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, me and you were playing Halo Infinite. I'm talking trash. They don't hear me. Like I wouldn't
Right.
say it to them. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I'd probably tell them like that sucked. But
Yeah.
it's just to hype myself up mainly. But I wouldn't say that to another human being.
Of
I mean,
course
come on,
not.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's a difference between again friendly banter, you know what I mean,
Right.
and some people take it to a level it just doesn't need
Yeah.
to go to.
Exactly.
So yeah, and then I have to be mindful as well. Like again, like I've got Lady Yugi, she has her boundaries, right?
Yeah.
And there's some biases there because sometimes somebody will say something to her that
Yep.
genuinely like makes me want to
Yeah.
say
Dude, seriously.
and she's like, no, it's fine. So it's kind of like a balance, and that's what I mean when I say like I'm still learning, man.
Oh,
But that's the one thing
absolutely,
that I
yeah.
would say that I had to like kind of get over was just like, okay, like I think there is definitely more benefit to banning the people that just don't get it versus not. 100%.
Definitely, dude. Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, and it saves you the headache down the road too. Just cut the head off of
Yeah.
a snake right out of the gate, get it over with,
Yeah.
move on with your day.
Yeah,
Out of
because
sight,
it's
out of
mind-boggling,
mind.
man.
It is. Well, on top of that,
Some
too,
people just
go
I
ahead.
don't get it, man. Every day they just it's just like they
Yeah.
test you.
Where do
It's
you
just
guys
like,
keep
man,
coming from?
Right.
Yeah.
Like I just, like you'll time someone out a couple times, and you're like, okay, maybe he's just having one of those days. No, that's just who they are.
Yeah.
Like that's just who they are.
Yeah, no, this is them at their best, on their
Yeah,
best
yeah.
day. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, 100% seriously, dude. At the same time, it's like, and like you as the streamer or content creator, like you have that responsibility because nobody else
Yeah.
can do it but you.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Have you had
Right,
any
there's-
issues with promoting people with a moderator that maybe was a little bit too early or maybe weren't ready for it or anything?
So being as though like I'm brand new to the space,
Yeah.
and most of them are.
Yep.
I think maybe 2 of my 3,
Yeah.
well, technically 4 if you include my co-host.
Yep.
Yeah, like they've done it before, so that helps.
Yeah.
I'm kind of just winging it, man. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
like I just
same.
did.
Same, bro.
Like you kind of just do what feels right.
Yeah.
Right,
I
someone
think
who's-
they'd be good. That's it.
It's unfortunate. Like I don't know what's like the industry standard for a mod.
Yeah.
I really don't. I don't.
Dude,
And
I've seen content creators or streamers on YouTube, Fall Guys specifically, whereas if you win the game, you get mod for X amount of time. And dude, you could not, because I know some little demon would come in, win the game, and then would just ban everybody. And then I'd have to be the one that goes back and unbans everyone.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I'd probably unban some like former trolls. I gotta deal with them again. And then you're just in this massive cycle. I'm just like, I don't want to deal with it. I ain't gonna do it. They'd probably ban me.
It sounds like that sounds like an extremely bad idea.
Yeah. I mean, he seemed to have been getting away with it, but there's just some cats where when they get mod, it's kind of like that baby snake when it makes its first bite, lets out all the venom out of the gate. You know what I mean? Is one person maybe, you know, they make the mistake of spamming. Okay, it's like, you know, you're probably similar to me, whereas like, we're pretty lax with it. First time it's like, hey, just a warning, hey, brother, if you could keep it down, I'd appreciate it, my guy. But then if you have a mod that goes loose, they might just hide him from the channel and ban him right there on the spot.
Yeah, and
you know?
And I'm very fortunate that hasn't happened. However, there has been a lot of I guess I would have to, if I had to word it, it would be like growing pains.
Yeah.
With
fair.
like, hey, bro, like you probably shouldn't do that, or you
Yeah.
probably shouldn't do this. So we're kind of like growing, and I thank God, like they're very they work with me, man, because there's been some, like I said, for lack of a better word, growing pains. Because, you know, that a lot. Let's be honest, like our audience is young, so some of them get a little power trippy, they get a little mouthy, and you know, like one incident, not to name names, but you know, I had a moderator kind of like talk in a way that I wouldn't speak, and I'm like, hey, look, you have to understand that, you know, and for some reason, and I'm sure you can understand this too, these people, the viewers, I get it, but I shouldn't discredit them. Let me see if I can reword this. I personally, Yugi601. I do not understand what's the hype for it. I don't get like the desire to be a mod to an extent of I
completely agree.
Fight each other for it. You get my point?
Yeah. Well, dude, what I always told people who asked to be mod is I was like, well, literally all I need you to do is mod. I will take care of the ban. I just need you to ban the sex bots. That's literally all I need you to do. You know, like I just like these sex bots are just running so rampant out here. Like I need to promote people. Dude, my policy on promoting was I wouldn't ask anybody. I wouldn't pick anyone who asked to be mod. I just pick people who were in there for a while, and I would just do it randomly. But yeah, congrats. Appreciate you, you know, contributing to the channel and everything.
Right.
And that was that.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, they to the point later, like, you know, why am I not, like, almost like get into an argument with me, and it's like, okay, so I see that this is like something that they take seriously, although I don't personally understand it.
I don't get it either.
Right. And so
it's a status.
So it kind of like that, seeing that changed my philosophy, and I said, okay, I don't get it personally, me. Right? I'm not gonna go to VTice's channel and start arguing about being a mod. I just could not care less. However, you got part of the battle is knowing your viewer. So if they take it serious, then I have to take it serious.
That's true.
Right?
That's true. And you gotta get on the same level.
Exactly. I kind of gotta like put on yourselves in the same, kind of like when you're talking to a younger child, right?
Yeah.
If you're taller, you know, you want to get on one knee and maybe get on their level so they can see. You know, just to kind of illustrate it visually, right? Okay, let me level with you here. You really care about this mod thing.
Pat him on the head. You know,
pat him on the
hair.
Head. Okay. Yeah. Listen, Bucko, I get it. I know you want to be a mod, but so I have to have, you know, conversations on DMs and say, hey, look, you know, these are viewers, right? They're taking your status as mod as like almost like a symbol.
Yes.
So you got to conduct yourself a certain way because you're representing us. You know what I mean? So
right.
I've had those growing pains where I've had to like sit there and like kind of say like, look, man, like you probably shouldn't be talking the way I wouldn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You shouldn't say things that are like past a certain line. So you know, that's another thing I would say that I've been learning, have learned, and you know, it's funny. To me, it's goofy. You know what I mean? Like I don't think it makes you special. It's helpful.
Right.
And I appreciate the mods and the work they do because some of them, they really do dictate, like, they dictate almost the pace of the chat.
Yeah, no, they absolutely do. You know, they give out the warnings so you don't have to constantly do it the whole time. What I think is nice that a lot of my mods have been really, really good at is, so if Yugi601 comes and raids VTice. Before I even have to say anything, they're already posting a link to your channel. Hey, go sub to my boy Yugi. That was super nice of him in the community. Different things like that. So they can be very helpful. It's a very nice tool to have, but you have to be careful with that, because if you're not, then I mean that could implode a channel. If because if you also can't have a mod where it's, if you say anything I don't like, then you're out of here. So then they start getting on their high horse. So you just need mods to be nice and chill.
Yeah, and that's why the biggest tool, if you're a streamer, VTice, anyone who's listening, sometimes you got to time out your mods.
Yeah,
sometimes
it's for
you
real.
have to be like, you have to be like, listen, dude, like you're doing too much right now. Like, maybe take a break, relax, and just kind of set those like firm boundaries,
right?
Because
you're
absolutely right.
Learn,
exactly, because we have to remember a lot of them are like much younger and. They can slip up, and they're human, right? Everyone gets excited. Hey, I'm a mod. I'm gonna start saying or doing something that no one else can do. It's as a flex, but
totally. Yeah, no, completely. Yeah, any other big mistakes you could think of? I know one for me was, and I think I mentioned this earlier, but a big one for me that I had done early on was I tried to go from 0 to 150 miles per hour. I'm going to post a video every single day. So now all of a sudden, I'm not enjoying my personal life. I don't have a personal life because I literally work, and then it's YouTube from there. And then it's so easy to get burned out. You don't get the views, you don't get the satisfaction, you don't get the growth. I was doing it all the wrong way. I mean, I made the classic mistake of, I'm going to play a random game every single day, and people are going to love me watching new random games. Turns out nobody gives a shit about me playing a random game. And at the same time, it's kind of nice to not have an audience early on, because you get to learn how to talk to the camera. You get to learn how to talk to chat. You get to learn how to edit and do different things. Just trying to be more comfortable on camera. Because it's uncomfortable at first. You don't want to press the record button. You don't want to press the go live button right away. You're nervous about it. And of course, I think everybody has that. I don't know if you ever did this, but your first live stream, my first one, I had this thought of, like, what happens if I just get like 5K viewers? Right. Like, I wouldn't be ready for it. As if that was like ever a possibility. But it's one of those things is, even when you don't have instant success, I think it's a good thing, because you're in the learning process. And then that will come as you're more prepared for it. And as you're more ready to go. So
yeah, one of the best things that I saw to harp on that what you just last said about not starting off too quickly.
Yeah.
Right? You almost don't want that to happen. Almost.
Yeah. No, seriously.
Like every rule, there's an exception, right?
Yeah.
But there was a person, I can't remember his name, but he's related to Mr. Beast. And by virtue of him being related to Mr. Beast, his channel exploded. However, he could not keep up with the same style of content that Mr. Beast could.
Exactly.
So just like you just said, everything is absolutely spot on, 100%.
It goes back to the expectations versus what you can actually deliver. And if you over deliver, people are going to be incredibly satisfied. They're going to be very happy. If you under deliver, they're going to be very disappointed. Exactly, and that's kind of where it goes. So it's always better to say, hey, I'm gonna post a video once a week, and then you may surprise them with 2, or you stay consistent, because you meet their expectations. If they expect 1 video a week and you own up to that, versus if I say, hey, I'm gonna post 1 video every day. And it's just like, it's not sustainable if you're not full time. And even then, I still think, like, dude, to post a video a day, I'd have to have an editor. You'd have to have so much going for you to be able to do that. It's not as simple, and it's so time consuming. Because I mean, if you're trying to edit a 40-minute video, a 20-minute video, that takes you hours.
Oh my god, yeah.
And it depends on the quality that much more.
When I was doing my my Midnight Fight Express series, I've had to tell people, look, man, I genuinely keep putting it on the back burner, because even though those series, they typically run a little over 10 minutes, it takes me like 3-4 hours to edit them.
Right.
And it's just and it's to edit them to where they're like fun to watch.
Exactly.
Because anyone can just record, upload, and that's it. No. That's not the expectation that people have. They want to have a reason to stick around and have fun watching.
Totally.
And to do that, it 100%. Like, we cannot emphasize it enough, guys. It takes hours.
It's true.
Hours, especially if you want it to be watchable, because anyone could just upload anything.
Yep.
But to sit there and actually make it like something entertaining, that 100% takes time, and I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is I think at the same time, sometimes what you may think is entertaining isn't always entertaining for somebody else. And you're going to say to yourself, well, if they would just give me a chance. And that may be true. But if you have no hook, if you have no, intros people go back and forth on, whatever that is. If you don't have a way to keep them around, they're going to be gone in the first 10 seconds of your video before they get to see one interesting thing. Oh, and by the way, the climax of your video is at 17 minutes into it. You have a 0% chance of them sticking around for that long. No matter how good it may or may not be. It doesn't even matter at that point, because they ain't going to be there.
Exactly. And that's part also of it shouldn't be discouraging to hear this, guys. I think it's part of the learning process as well, because again, like, YouTube is very good. They will tell you.
Yeah.
They'll tell you,
when people check out.
Yes.
I've gotten those too, like
Yep.
15 seconds in.
Let me give you let me give you a perfect example. I tried to make a video on what's that game? Multiverses. You heard of this?
Yep.
Okay, so that little fighting game.
Michael Jordan fights Bugs Bunny fighting Wonder Woman. Yes, I am familiar with it.
You love it. You love it.
Yep.
So, Morty, I think it's Morty. Yeah, Morty came out. I didn't have the character. Okay. In the video, I put that I was fighting a bunch of Mortys, but that's not what people wanted to see. They wanted to see me play as Morty.
Right.
So in the first minute or so, I want to say around the 16-minute mark, I was like, hey, by the way, guys, I don't have Morty. No one kept watching.
That was it.
They said, what? You don't have him. You have him in the thumbnail. You mentioned him in the title, but you don't have him. Why am I here? You see, so there's
exactly gone.
I learned real quick to never do that again.
Yeah, well, that's why I clicked off of it, Yugs. You should know. This is so. This is ridiculous.
Okay. Right. But it was humbling.
Yeah,
and it was a learning experience. Absolutely.
It always is. For better or worse, it is always a learning experience. And that's the one thing that's nice about for anyone that's not a creator yet, you don't have access to the YouTube studio, but it's nice. I mean, it gives you everything. It will show you the spikes and the valleys of each video when viewers click off of it. So if it's in the first 10 seconds, and I have those videos, believe me, I do. If it's in the first 10 seconds, then you know right there, okay, I'm not interesting whatsoever at the start of it. So maybe I show an intro clip of me hitting a nasty no-scope, whatever it may be. And then they want to stick around to see that later in the video.
That's smart.
Maybe in that intro clip, I mentioned that, I'm dropping a 20 bomb here. Now, this would never be me, because I don't drop a 20 bomb in anything. But that's besides the point. Whatever it may be, your funniest moment, put it at the start, just to try to keep them involved. Different tricks and tips you kind of learn from there. And a lot of people do that, right? They do like the black and white screen. Like the immersive music playing in the background, and then that's highlights what you're gonna see later in the video, different things like that. Because I'll be honest, I've done this, and I would click off of somebody else doing it that I didn't know, and it was, hey guys, today I'm gonna be playing Call of Duty Warzone 2. I think you guys are gonna love it. So all right, well, let's get into it. And it just doesn't hit.
Yeah, it's not the same. Yeah,
it doesn't hit at all.
Yeah,
so
it's a good point you mentioned that, because I have been seeing that a lot lately, actually. That's something that I should kind of put in the back pocket there.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, there's different tricks that different people do, and everyone has their own styles, so some things work for different styles. So yeah, it's just all about finding what your tempo and what your kind of fashion is with it.
Yeah. So, there definitely is I noticed, like, there's definitely trends, and unfortunately, like, as much as I want to roll my eyes and be like, I don't want to be like that guy who's trying to, you kind of gotta, in our position, we kind of have to cater to that.
Definitely. Yeah, no, definitely. It does. It matters. It's valid.
Yeah.
So
again, it's like the balance between what I personally believe and what I should be doing.
Sure.
I'm always going to recommend people do what you should be doing.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. And it ultimately depends on what your ultimate goal is. If it's one of those things, if it's quite literally just a hobby, you have no expectations, you don't even know, or you do know that you wouldn't want to be a full-time creator, that's fine. Do whatever you want. I mean, it doesn't necessarily apply to you as much, but for someone who is trying to grow, I think that's valid.
Absolutely, yeah.
So in terms of your channel moving forward, brother, where do you hope it goes? Where do you potentially see it going? Where would you like it to go?
One more time. You said hope, where I would like to see, and then what was the first one?
Yeah, just so where do you think your channel is going to go? Where do you see it going moving forward into the future? You know, as it
Okay.
continues to grow, different things like that. What are your expectations of
Okay.
your time on YouTube if you were to fast forward, whatever it may be, a month from now,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
year from now, a decade from now?
Okay, so in terms of what I expected, I didn't expect this. I'm gonna be honest. At
Yeah,
all.
I was gonna say
So
I've already eclipsed whatever the
yeah.
expectation was. I totally agree.
Yeah, like that's been completely blown. My
Yeah,
prediction was by the way things were going. This is not by what I because there's an attitude to this thing too, right?
yep,
Like I'd never like I didn't go into this space and said I should be getting this.
right.
Hell no, you shouldn't. First of all, you shouldn't be getting anything.
You don't
Okay,
deserve anything.
you don't
Yeah,
deserve anything. You're
yeah,
new here. Okay, there are established names that have
yep,
been in this space for decades at this point.
yep.
Like, do not even begin to
Yeah.
think you deserve anything. So that was how I went into it.
Yeah,
So
100%.
I'll be honest.
And you will get nothing if that's
Yeah.
your attitude.
No, it was, and
Yeah,
it's not even to discredit myself. It's just we
right.
have to be realistic
It's
about
true.
these things.
Yeah.
There are so many amazing content creators that I watch.
Yep.
There is no way I'm going to assume that I'm going to be at this place or that place. So that's
Right.
first.
Right.
So my prediction, just because of you know the subscriber count and the way that the influx of like viewers came, I thought I was going to be at like 600 or less
Yeah.
by the end of the year. That
Right.
got completely blown off. So now VTice, I don't even know what to say. I don't
Well,
even know if I could say like
yeah.
with confidence that I'm going to hit this, you know? I
That
can only tell you what I'd hope.
it's one of those things where it feels as though it's twofold, right? It has the potential to go literally nowhere, which is your
Yeah.
expectation.
Yeah.
And at the same time, is once you start to have a little bit of growth, that is not promised tomorrow. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like, no. You've been putting in the time, you've been doing the work, you've been connecting with your audience. People seem to somewhat like, like hanging out with you and stuff like that. That's wonderful. But at the same time, is if you start slacking off, your quality drops, your attitude, your energy on stream drops, we'll be seeing
Mm.
you. It could be gone just as fucking quick as it gets here.
Yo,
You
that's
know?
so good. Yeah, because the same I'm telling you, and this is something that to you and to any content creators out there, okay?
Yeah.
This is the cold hard truth. Here we go.
Break it
Get
down
ready
for
to
us,
swallow.
Yugs.
Get ready to swallow this pill.
Yeah.
And this is no slight on anyone, because I know this is not everyone, but it is true. The same audience that built you up will be the same audience that brings you down.
Sure.
But you have to make sure that you keep up with what you're doing. That is
Yeah.
100% true what you're saying, VTice.
Yeah.
You can't just like get cocky and be like, all right, well, I guess I'm just gonna not even try anymore. I'm not even
Right.
gonna, I'm not even gonna pretend to care. I made it. It is what it is. Because they will 100% rip you down if you
Yeah.
do.
Dude,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. And like that's been the thing is that, and you see it sometimes where people come back into your stream. Hey, Yugs, what's up, dude? Haven't seen you for a couple months, buddy. How you doing? All of a sudden, Yugi601 just subs. So it's like, like they unsubbed, because
Mhm.
the resub came back up, which is fine. I guess the thing is like I took a stretch of time off. That's totally fine. And that's 100% in their right to unsub if they want to. I mean, you have no power over anybody. So it's just one of those things. And not only starting to slack off, but I also think just maintaining the status quo, eventually you will get stale. Your
Yeah.
personality, if they like that can remain the same. But at the same time, if your content has nothing, for instance, you did a tournament the other day. All right,
Yeah.
can't wait for the next one. If you did a tournament every weekend, it would eventually run a little bit stale. People would still show
Yeah.
up, people would still enjoy it, but it's not the same as if it's every now and then, and it was something new when you
Yeah.
did it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you still got to have some variety and still mix it up at least a little bit, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Which
yeah.
I could be
And
better at
no worries.
now that I think about it.
It's
I
okay.
just exposed myself.
Nah. I think you have something to provide that you may not realize.
Yeah.
I think you do.
Oh,
I think you
true.
do. I think you have I think for me personally, if I were to speak, I'm not going to speak for the audience, but I think you provide a space that is like unique in the sense of like first of all like your welcoming nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's part of it. I think you're very lighthearted. You take things in the chin that I wouldn't even do.
I appreciate it.
That's
When you've been
really
getting
fun.
roasted your whole life, Hughes, this is nothing new. It just is what it is at this point.
Yeah. Like
You
I think
know?
yeah. Like you have
I do
that. I
appreciate
think,
it though.
yeah, no problem. A lot of the sports fans. Oh, excuse me. I didn't mean to do that. Whoa, hello. Okay.
I still
Like
got you.
I know. Yeah, thank you. I know you're like big into sports too, which helps because I know that's a space that I
Right.
can't even begin to comment on.
Fair.
You know, you got me excited to watch the game I won't speak of.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
won't
The
I
game
won't
that must
remind
not
you.
be named. I don't want to
Yeah,
talk about it.
yeah, yeah.
For anybody watching,
I literally tuned in. I saw the score. I was like, "Oh my god,
uh,
VTice might not be here
could you
anymore."
hear me crying
Yes, I
from
could feel your pain. I was like, "Wow,
9
not like."
states away?
Yeah, I was like, "Not like that. Not like that."
All right,
You know
Yugi,
what
I
I
didn't
mean?
know we were gonna go there today. Well played. You got
But
me
this is what I'm
there.
saying
So
though. You're almost
yeah,
like I think you're more contagious than you give yourself credit
I
for.
appreciate
Because
that.
people
No, thank
people
you.
gravitate towards like that type of attitude, I think.
Sure.
Whether they realize it or not, because I'm sorry, but like the negativity or like the I don't know how to articulate this. Maybe you can help me, but like that hyper type of culture where you feel like
Sure.
you need to be like doing something crazy
Yeah.
just to get clicks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
No, dude, totally. That's the thing is I think some people think you have to be an all-star streamer where it's like I have to drop multiple 20 bombs in this 2-hour live stream I'm about to have
Yes.
for anyone to care. It's not the case. I think people like self-deprecating humor. Self-deprecating humor I'm a big fan of myself. People
I noticed.
gravitate towards that and they do enjoy it. So
Dude,
um
you're definitely up there when it comes to that, man.
I do appreciate it.
Yeah, me and Lady will be on your streams, man, and we'll just look at each other like he really just said that. Like,
Yeah.
damn.
That's the other thing with the live streams. You can't take it back once it's out there.
You're
So
right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
So
you
I
and
think
Chino both get a good kick out of me talking about how white I
Dude.
am.
It's just I don't know, man. Like, we gotta stop the white boy slander, but it is
Man.
yeah, we do. I'm gonna be honest. But I'm gonna tell you what though, you're funny about it, man. I'm
I
glad that
appreciate
how do I
that.
say this? Like, I'm glad you have that, and that's very refreshing, and that's why me personally.
I
like the
appreciate that. No,
Yeah,
it does
100%.
mean a lot to me. And I think I
Yeah.
don't know, some self-reflection for everybody's good where it's what do you bring to the table? Well,
Yeah.
I'm not going to win a lot of games because I suck at the majority of games that I play, but I enjoy them. I think people would rather, sometimes, some people would rather just have someone have fun and make fun of themselves, make
Yes.
fun of others, than they really care about if you win every single time.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know?
it's in your rules, VTice. You don't. I think one of them is like, don't take yourself too seriously. We
You
don't.
would know these better than me. I have
Right.
no idea what
Like
my
I think.
rules are.
Okay, I got you. So,
Yeah.
well, all right. Well, there it is. You just proved my point.
Yeah.
Like you have this nature where you don't take yourself too seriously, and I think that is very refreshing. Because there are
I
some
do
streamers
appreciate it.
that like I feel like their head is just bigger than the camera.
Sure.
Like
Sure.
you're very like down to earth, like almost like that friendly neighbor next door. That's what I call you.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, Tice
it's
from State
nice, man.
Farm. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Like, you know what I mean? Give yourself some
Yeah.
credit, dude. Like, you would definitely win over some money for me if you were that guy.
I appreciate that. Thank
Yeah,
you.
man.
Yeah, thank you.
It's true.
I mean, I would say you and Lady share the same thing. You know what I mean? Is, like, because, viewers love to come in and grief you a ton, right? And you take it on the chin, you have a good laugh about it. All right, now it's on. Now I'm going to try to grief you. But that's the thing is
Right.
people enjoy doing that. And, it's no fun being with the streamer where it's like they're just going to cuss you out and ban you for, for griefing or for making fun of the viewer or something. So at the same time,
Trust me.
I don't think, any streamer should take themselves, no matter how big or small, that serious, right?
Yeah. I think you, whether you realize it or not, doing stuff like that you do, like when you're getting grief and you're kind of like laughing, you're having a good time, you'd be like,
Yeah.
oh man, you got me
Yeah.
there. I have VTice impressions, but I won't do it.
I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
But you'll be like, oh, you got me there. Like you're making their day, whether you realize it or not.
No,
You know what I mean?
I thank you. Yeah, and like I said, you
100%.
share us a lot of those same qualities, man. So I do very much appreciate that. I do very much appreciate it. That does mean a lot. So
It's true, man, because like, Lady, she's funny, man. She likes to
she
grief streamers.
is.
She
Yeah.
loves to grief streamers. She'll go on someone's stream and grief them. And
Well,
they'll either get really mad
Yeah.
or really like bent out of shape. and she thinks it's funny.
It
but
is.
The fact that like, but it gets uncomfortable too when like they're legit like getting pissed and like kicking you for it.
This is your one grief warning.
Yeah,
it's like,
it's so
cringe. Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just relax.
Sure.
It's not that serious. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, have a little bit of fun. Understand the position you're in, and I think you 100% get that. I think you just seem like you're having a good time. Like that really resonates, man. I'm telling you.
Well, I dude. The audience, I think we've said this probably 3 times now. I'll make it 4. The audience can see through bullshit. Even if you're pretending to have a good time, but you're not, I think they're going to see through it. You know what I mean? So you're either going to have to play a game where you can have a good time no matter the outcome. Luckily for me, if you grief me in Fall Guys, you just did me a favor because you saved me from a fail where I lose and then getting roasted by the entire chat. So, I mean, you made life easier for me.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
you know, different things like that.
And when you do win, it's just as hype.
Oh, so, God. No. And then you can let it rip. Yeah, dude. Let everybody know what time it is at that point.
Yes, sir.
100%. 100%. Do you set, when you started, or even now, even as you continue to grow, do you set hard, objective, listed out goals that you want to achieve? Whether that be subs, views, any sort of thing?
In terms of subs or views, no.
I'm the exact same way. I don't have any single goals.
Yeah, I don't have, again, 0 expectations.
Yeah.
Now, what I would like to provide, yes. So obviously, like, I like to do edited highlights into shorts of my streams.
Yeah.
I, again, try to keep that schedule of Thursday through Sunday, which I've been pretty good at.
Yeah.
Besides, obviously, the holidays.
Yeah.
From now on, I got, no qualms about keeping.
We're off till Valentine's Day now, bro. I'll be free that day. You won't.
Hey, knock on wood. You never know. Lady VTice in the stream, maybe.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Outside of that, though, I don't really. I can't even begin to. And I don't want to sound some type of way towards other creators. I just can't find myself to sound so arrogant and say, yeah, I'm going to have this much by then. I did not expect zip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is correct. This whole thing is nuts to me.
There's nothing wrong with, it's just everybody has a different mindset. And not that everyone that sets a sub goal is this way, but for me personally, is I kind of feel as though if you set sub goals, then you kind of you start looking at your viewers less as people and more as numbers. Yeah. You know what I mean? At that point, so it's just like, I'm going to really cake this guy up so he's for sure going to sub to me so I can get that much closer to my goal, which is, I don't know, it's just personally, but not that everyone that sets a sub goal or a membership goal or a views goal, whatever it may be, not that everybody feels that way, because they certainly don't. I think it's good. If you want to keep growing your channel, there's nothing wrong with setting a goal. Sometimes it helps your community if they want you to keep growing. Exactly. Hey, we have a goal to reach 2K subs by March, Then all of a sudden, hey, we're getting close to it. We're almost there. Hey, share it with your friends. And then there's a way to grow. And then their friends come in and they really like your channel. They shared it with their sister. Hey, my sister loves watching you stream as well. Different things like that. There's certainly nothing wrong with it. It's just everyone has their own style.
Precisely. Yeah, that's why I say it is not to slight
never
people that do that because I totally get it. It's just for my own, I guess, way of looking at things, I'd like to manage my expectations. Is just assume that this may be where I am at. I mean, but it could be too, VTice. Like, it could be that that's just not a luxury, but I guess just that's where we're at, because I'm sure those people that are huge, they can say stuff like that.
Definitely. I mean, it's the privilege of where you're at. Everyone has different privileges.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Right. That's how I wanted to word it. Perfect. Exactly what I'm saying. I can't sit here and start saying things when I'm not even remotely in that position, but I would like to get there. I want to grind to get there. I'm going to do what I got to do. Yeah. And I don't even know if grind is the right word. I'm having fun.
Exactly. Yeah. Sometimes, does it ever feel like a grind for you? Sometimes when I'm editing, it feels like that's about it. Other than that, it's just so
annoying. I wish there was a way I could be all right, you already know what I want to do editing software, and you just do it.
Yeah,
but
can you just trim the fat on this video?
Yeah. Man, if I'm nice. Sure, and we say that, and I'm sure there's a software out there that could actually do that, because you know what I'm talking about, the the silent space in the audio.
Exactly.
Like man, I'm sure it's out there. We just don't know of it yet.
Right. Right. Yeah, no one's told me how to do it yet. I'll say that much. So
yeah, I have to manually do it.
What editing software do you use, by the way?
I use an editing software called Win Movie Maker.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, it's because I used to make videos on Windows Movie Maker.
Yeah,
and it's a software that's very similar to that freeware that came with Windows. They took it off actually, so you can't use it anymore. Yeah, but it used to be in everything. So it's similar to that, but just a slightly enhanced, and that's all I use, man.
Yeah, it doesn't take much.
No, it seems like the industry lately really favors like less dry space.
Yep.
Subtitles and zoom. That
it's
seems
like
to
this.
be. Yeah,
it's like get to your next point, get to the next exciting part of the video. Just boom, boom, boom. It's almost like that TikTok in nature, right?
Exactly. So it doesn't require much in terms of like the software itself.
Sure.
I think you just got to know how to zoom, how to cut, how to throw in some subtitles and have good moments, and then you'll be set to go. That's it.
No, dude, totally. I completely agree. Yeah, I completely agree. And that's the thing is, it's like adding tools to a toolbox or a tool shed, right? You add them one at a time. Learn how to cut, learn how to trim. All right, now you can add an intro video that you use for all. Okay, now you can add some special effects. Now you can add text on the screen. One at a time. Just 1% better each day.
Exactly.
I completely agree. Yeah. In your opinion, sir, what is the best and worst part of content creation?
I think the best would be, to me.
Yep.
I think if I had to pick one, it would be when it's done and I watch it back and it literally makes me smile. Like I can't. I'm serious. Like I'll be like, man, I remember that moment. That was so funny.
Yep.
So there's that. Yep. I don't know if that sounds.
Yeah, you like watching yourself, Yugi. Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah. Whenever I get to sit down and watch some Yugi601, man, that doesn't get any better than that. No, I am with you. You're proud of your work. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like,
I'm with you.
I'll tell you, like, even before I posted anything, I would just like cut up clips of like me playing Destiny with my friends.
Yeah.
Just to say, like, man, wasn't that so funny when that happened? Yo, check this out. And I would rewatch it. And it's not even like I said, it sounds weird, but it's just like having those memories, you know what I mean? Like I go back all the time and I'll just sit and just rewatch some of the funny moments between me and my wife, or like times that we like mess with people or people mess with her. And it's just fun.
And how many times, it's one of those things as well. How many times have you been gaming with the boys or gaming with the missus or something? And it's like, God, I can't believe I wasn't recording that. You know what I mean?
Happens all the time.
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
And when we were younger playing, it was just like, man, I wish I could have had that recorded. Now you can.
Yeah, you can.
And you can go back a decade from now and you can go watch those. They ain't going anywhere.
Exactly. I look forward to the day where I just like binge all the funny clips of just the stuff, the antics that we've done on stream, and just
absolutely.
So, 100%. That's my favorite. I think the worst is just like I said, like we said earlier, like the process in and of itself, like actually like trimming the fat and plugging things in, and
like post-production work.
Dealing with this just like frustrating like hardware issues or like technical issues,
right?
Stuff like that. I think that's the pain, but it's worth it in the end. I think the feeling you get after trumps the pain of doing it. But
totally.
I think
I completely agree.
That's just the cards we've been dealt. Like I said, we can't because you have your idea in your head, and then it's like putting it into the software to where it comes out how you want it to be. That's not automatic, so you just have to do it now.
I agree.
Sure, this could be alleviated with an editor, but hey, we don't have that
we
have that luxury right now, so we have to just kind of appreciate the process. But I don't know if I'd even want one. I'm gonna be honest.
Really?
I don't know. I don't know.
That'd be the godsend for me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's something about like I'll give like I think we talked about it before. The Act Man, he's huge into Halo.
Yes,
guy.
yeah.
Okay, so he edits his own videos, and
really
he said it took him like, because he made like an hour, 2 hour long video. He said it took him like 3 months.
I bet.
And I was like, I really respect that.
Yeah,
because I think like it's something about like putting your own vision on onto the screen is just like,
Yeah.
it's almost like
It's complete. If you do the editing yourself, it is 100% your product. That's your baby.
yeah,
You know
that's
what
how
I
it
mean?
feels. Yeah,
Versus if
that's
someone
why.
else
Yeah,
does the editing, maybe it's not quite exactly what you would have done, then you have to not be 100% satisfied with your product, not because of the fault of the editor, but just for the fact that it's not yours at that
yeah,
point, you know?
yeah. It's just, I'm gonna be honest. Like outside of the pain of that
Yeah.
and dealing with hardware and software issues, like if I had the time,
Yeah.
you wouldn't hear peep out of me, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be making some dope stuff if I
There's
could. If I
there'd
could.
be worse problems to have,
Yeah,
right? There'd be
exactly.
worse
There you
problems
go.
to have than
You know
trying to
exactly what I'm
figure
saying.
out. 100%, yeah. It's one of those. I definitely the technology is by far the worst for me. I think one thing is it is a little bit of a catch-22 with the expectations, and we talked about it, right? Where it's just like,
Yeah.
man, I just really, really don't want to stream tonight, or I have X, Y, Z going on. But the expectations are that I told everyone I'd be on stream. So then it's like
Yeah.
you either, it does take up time, which is fine. You're having fun with it, but then now in real life, it could be affected by the decisions you made, or you now let people down because
Yeah.
life got in the way. Not got in the way, but life had stuff going on, and you couldn't stream, and you just feel like you let your audience down as
Yeah.
well.
You
So
know,
that kind of comes with it.
you're doing the right thing though with this, and I'll tell you why. To add to that, I think your philosophy, which hopefully we can talk about soon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know how much time we have, but
I got nowhere
um,
to be, dude. So I don't
okay,
want to take up
okay.
your time.
No, no,
We're
no,
about ready
no.
to eclipse 2 hours, my brother.
Okay, okay, got you. So
Oh,
I think
hopefully it's
that
recording.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
is. Yeah, it is. We're recording. Don't worry.
Oh my god, imagine.
Dude, you wouldn't have talked to me for fucking months if I
No,
just
no, no.
wasted 2 hours of your time.
No, I promise you're good. You're good. Dude, I can't even tell you. Okay. Like I completely understand. Again, being like a fellow creator, dude, I
Yeah.
get it, man. I've done that mistake where I'm not recording. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
So I'm a
bro.
little more gracious than maybe
Oh.
others, but I
Oh.
got you. So I was gonna say, like, you're doing it smart, and I really respect your philosophy on like growing together and having like a community of people who kind of like are on the same page.
Yeah.
Reason being is that you don't have to, you can fill in those, I guess those not weaknesses, I don't think that'd be a good word, but maybe like others may have strong suits that you don't have and you can
Yep.
kind of bounce off each other. So when you
Totally.
say
You
things
build
like
off
the
each other.
technology thing, like listen, man, you know you have resources. You got me,
Yeah,
man.
I
If you need
appreciate
anything,
that.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Same thing with one of the cool things that I've experienced and hopefully the viewers can also understand is out of all of us like kind of communicating with each other,
Yeah.
like, when you there was a period that you weren't there, I was able to reach out to coach, and coach was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, look," and I was able to hang out with him a little while. He
Yeah.
said, "Look, he's okay. I
Yeah.
spoke to him. He's fine. He's just
Yeah.
dealing with some stuff." Right there was almost like a reassurance there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
It transitions from he's another content creator to he's a friend, right? And
Boom.
you meet a really cool community, and then that gives you there's another boost, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, different things like that, and
So
it's
it hit
different support
very
systems.
exactly. It hit very different when I heard him say that
Yeah,
versus like if you weren't there at all and I had no one to go to and say
true,
like, "Yo, what's happening?"
true.
So it's
Yeah,
very smart the way you're approaching this. So I want you to know, like, even if that time does come, it
yeah,
almost is like I would hope, and at least if viewers, if you're this far and you're actually listening
that
to
is
this,
amazing.
yeah, that would be incredible. You're a legend. It's just know that I don't think it would hurt to kind of like go to the others and say, "Hey, like, is he okay or is there
Yeah,
okay?" And then we'll be able to let you know because
yeah,
it feels less like I'm being let down and more like, "Oh, okay.
yeah,
He's just a human being. It is what it is." You know what I mean?
dude, definitely.
It's almost like reaching out to a family member. "Hey,
It
have you heard from
is.
such and such?" "Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, they're fine. They're just, life's been busy. They're dealing with something, but he's
right.
okay." That
Yeah,
really like almost kept me at ease. I'm not gonna lie, because there was
yeah,
that period and I was like, "Yo, like, I'm kind of getting worried here."
dude,
But
definitely.
having like coach there to say like, "Hey, like, I spoke to him. He's cool."
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, all right,
It's
cool."
one of those things in terms of kind of the community we've built with other
Yeah.
creators. It happened almost organically. It certainly wasn't
Yeah.
by design. It was just as you do it, you just meet new people, and then you gel well, you bounce off each other pretty well and everything,
Yep.
you know.
It's so
You're
beautiful.
like-minded, and then it's that much more fun because now you have partners in crime with you, you know.
Hmm.
So and then you have different people you can bounce different ideas off of, different collaboration ideas, whatever the case may be. And it's just fun to have friends online, to have other streamers pop in from time to time. It's a lot of fun, right?
It
And
is.
just
It
getting to
is.
meet people in the communities. So,
Yeah, it's been such
um,
a blessing, man. I'm still mind-boggled
oh,
that this even happened. Because I'm
yeah,
telling you, man, like my experience as a viewer has not been the most pleasant. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm not negative, but I guess like I've been callous to
sure,
like how streamers interact with each other. You know what I
right,
mean? Like it felt
right,
so superficial.
yeah,
So it's just like
yeah,
my whole mentality now has just changed. Like
yeah.
I'm very, very grateful to have met you guys.
Well, I think it's one of those things, and likewise, first of all, but I think it's one of those things too, where with viewers being able to see through the BS, they can
Yeah.
tell if you actually like each other if we're doing this for no other reason than to try to get more eyes on us. If you, because that's
Mhm.
what you see collabs, and that's what they are sometimes.
Mhm.
But it's just like no, not at all. I genuinely, really, thoroughly like and enjoy this person. And then
Exactly.
I don't know. It's just it happens organically, and I think people can tell if it is organic or not at the same time. So
You know exactly what I'm saying then. That's
yeah,
what I exactly what I'm saying. Like I would watch these guys and I'd just be like, they just don't seem
yeah,
like they have good chemistry
you can
versus like
tell.
yeah, and I'm telling you this, like I'm a big fan of your streams, dude. Like I
Oh
watch
well, thank you. I
well,
appreciate
you
that.
know that. I'm
Likewise,
there
yeah,
damn near the whole time and it's because like
yeah,
we're
likewise.
genuinely having a good time like
Yeah,
laughing.
it
You know what I
is.
mean?
It's a
Like
lot of fun. Yeah, it's a
yeah,
lot of
like
fun getting to
how
go into each other's streams and you talk to a different community. Some of them overlap. You come in.
mhm
A lot of your viewers are in my stream. I go to your stream. Vice versa. Same thing.
mhm
You're
mhm
absolutely correct. So it is.
mhm
It's a
so
lot of fun.
yeah, so please, like, definitely give yourself that credit, dude. Like,
I
I don't
appreciate
watch
it.
a lot of people, man, but I
Thank
will
you.
definitely tune into the VTice
Yeah.
stream
Well,
because
thank
I
you so
have a good
much,
time.
Yugs. And
Yeah, it's true.
likewise, I always enjoy hanging out with you and the lovely wife and your guys'
Thank
stream
you.
as well. So,
Yeah, yeah.
Yugi601, what motivates you, brother? What motivates you to
Uh,
keep doing content creation? What motivates you just in
okay,
regular
okay.
life?
Let's see. I think the motivation is seeing the potential that I could do this full time.
Ooh, I
I'm gonna be
like that.
honest.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest
absolutely.
because again, there's never a moment when I'm streaming or off stream when I'm editing where I'm like, I don't see myself doing this any longer. If
Yeah,
anything, I see myself doing it more. It is
right?
100% the only thing that's stopping me is the lack of time. If I
Yeah,
had that
definitely.
time, they would be seeing so much more in
Yeah.
terms of like, at least like short schedule. I'm not over promising, like saying like I'm gonna be like,
You'll be
doing it.
live 9 hours
Yeah.
every single day.
No, no, no. I
Right.
think that's you have
Yeah.
to be realistic with that. Yeah.
Right.
Like I'm not gonna be doing that. And
Totally.
and after seeing what you did, I definitely took some hints that
Dude, I'm telling you right now, toss a little variety in there if you're going to do a marathon
yeah,
stream,
yeah.
homie.
You
Oh my
definitely
God. Yo.
I took that advice to heart after
Yeah.
seeing you. You were
Yeah.
I was
Lesson
crying laughing.
learned.
Not at your
Yo.
pain, but just like I could tell,
Oh.
like, dude, I see that
I
like
was
you are
crying too at my pain. I was crying at my pain. So, yo,
so
man.
yeah. So I'm like, you know
Yeah.
what? Like I would say with that, like that motivates me is to
Sure.
like seeing the potential
Oh,
that
yeah.
it could be something that I would do
Yeah.
like either full time or at least more often or like that it could be like that it's sustainable.
Yeah.
That motivates me. I would
Yeah.
love to be in that position one
Oh,
day.
dude, definitely.
Whether it happens or it doesn't, that time will tell,
Yeah,
right?
remains to be seen.
Remains to be seen,
It
but that's
certainly
I would
never
say.
happens overnight, that's for sure. You know what I
No,
mean?
no,
It's
no, no,
it's
no,
it's
no.
99.99% of the time it's slow, steady growth. That's
Yeah.
part of the process, and that's what everybody else has dealt with as well that you see
Oh
that
yeah.
has made it. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
it's our time to pound the pavement a little bit.
Yeah. I could never be like more grateful comparing
Oh,
how I started to where I'm at now.
dude,
Like
seriously.
I see it, and I'm just like, no, there's no way like I can sit here and say like this isn't something that I could do because
Right.
like it's clear as day that there's obviously a market and there's obviously like a connection there. So
Love it. Love it.
That's what
Yeah.
motivates me, is definitely seeing that potential. And I think, and I'm hoping, and I don't know if you would like agree with me on this, but like again, tying into like our audience being so young, like I grew up watching some
Yeah.
creators. The
Yep.
fact that that's me, that just, how could I not be motivated by that? How could I
Definitely.
not?
Dude, how
You know,
fun
like,
is it too when you go back and you watch a career you forgot about for a while because either they're
mhm,
no longer on the platform or whatever the case may be. You just
mhm.
kind of grew away from them a little bit, and then you go back and watch them, and it's just like the nostalgia value behind it. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
badass,
And I can't imagine doing that live.
dude.
Think
Seriously,
about that.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, because me and you we probably watched different creators growing up, but we
yeah.
never got the chance to actually talk to them.
Seriously,
That
yeah,
hits different,
seriously.
bro.
It really does.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Yeah. Like I can't imagine, like, if for whatever reason, like a viewer, that is gone for a little while and then he comes back and he's like, "Hey, how you been?" I'm like, "Wow, I haven't seen you in a while. How you been?"
yeah. Isn't that
That
always
right there,
nice?
that's
Yeah.
different, bro.
That
Yeah.
is nice. Yeah, I always appreciate that as well. That is
Mhm.
always fun when that happens.
Oh yeah, yeah. They don't I can't even begin to emphasize how much that connection. I guess we're just people, right?
Yeah, I think
Is that fair to
everyone
say?
that does content creation to a certain extent probably is, right? I
Yeah.
would imagine
Yeah.
so. Especially
Yeah, that might be it.
streaming. Especially
Yeah, streaming
streaming.
is
Because if
it's
you hate
different, yeah.
talking to people, that ain't the move.
No, yeah,
you
you
know?
exactly. You just make your content, you do something like FaZe Jeff, right? I've been watching him
Yeah.
for freaking years now.
Yep.
And he just makes his content, he kind of stays home and he
Yep.
doesn't really go live, you know what I mean?
Totally.
Like, so
Yep.
it's like I can see how exactly what you're saying. Like if you're not like into running your mouth as much as
Yeah.
we are,
Right?
um
Yeah.
yeah, that's a special kind of thing right
For
there. So I'm
sure.
I'm very that motivates the crap out of me, yeah.
Well, I think too, there's also, you like map out your time and how much time, and you work through all the time management issues that is with full time, being a husband, different things, along
Mhm.
with your stream schedule versus your, trying to post VOD, trying to post shorts. And then you think to yourself and you do the numbers, but if I wasn't working 8, 9 hours a day, imagine I could blow
Yes.
this sucker the fuck up. You
Yes.
know what I mean?
Oh,
And by blow it
100%.
up, I just mean like take it to a new level. In terms of what you post, how much you post, how often you
Yes.
post, and just the
Yes.
quality of it would ultimately increase as well. But like I said,
100%.
everyone's pounding the pavement to get to that point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the reality, right?
It is.
There's reality and then there's what you want. And the reality is like I have to work to sustain,
Yeah.
right? I can't
Yeah. I mean,
usually
that's the
this isn't
thing. Yeah.
exactly. So
I think
when that time comes,
that's another tip that I would give people wanting to get into it, whether you're in school or whether you're working, is at least out of the gate, you got to make sure your real life, your job, school, like that's got to come first.
100%.
Because whether we like it or not, the cold hard truth, the cold hard reality is, I don't know if, like, I don't think it's healthy to jump into this with the expectation of I'm gonna be a professional content creator in 10 months time. You know what I mean? I just don't think that's realistic. And then you set yourself up for some pretty hard times, right?
A lot of disappointment and depression and
Yeah,
just it's not good. It's not good.
yeah,
I came into this, VTice, I'm gonna be honest. I came into this with a 4-year plan, dude.
really,
Yes,
love
yes. I
it.
said I didn't expect anything until like 4 years. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
Yeah,
Happens, it happens. But
yep,
I was not expecting anything this fast, this good.
right.
And for better or worse, like that's the same thing I would tell other people. Expect like it to take years.
Yeah. Oh,
Expect it
without
because
question. Yeah.
yeah, because if you, like you said, you jump into this and you think that it's all just gonna get popping as soon as you
Yeah.
start, man, you're gonna be very disappointed. You
Even
give
if you
yourself
have
years.
even if you
And
have the right game plan in place, even if you do all the right things, I just think naturally growth takes a while to get to that point where
100%.
it would
And
ever be.
it's not even a slight on the creator. It's the fact that you have to be in the algorithm.
Yeah.
Because remember, like,
Yeah.
look at me, right? Like I'm using a Yu-Gi-Oh name. When you type in
Yeah.
Yugi601, I would not pop up. I just
Right.
would not. You have to like also
Dude.
have respect for the way things work.
Yeah. Dude, mine's always Vice. comes
Right.
up,
See?
and I'm just like, oh, I
See?
didn't even think about that.
Yeah. But
Like, how is
as
it
you
gonna be
started
these suckers?
uploading, as you started
Yeah,
streaming, now you look up VTice, now you actually pop up.
other people
So
search for you, right?
boom, boom,
Exactly.
boom.
Yeah.
And then I remember a viewer, because they love to point things out. He just
Yeah.
pointed that out. Yeah, they love to let you know things that you already know.
Yeah. Man, there's
They
way less people in here today. Thanks, bro. Thank you. Yeah. I've gotten that one numerous times.
numerous
Has your
times.
stream died?
Yeah. Man, you really need to pick up the slack. Yugi.
Yeah.
Like, all right, bro. I
Yeah.
got you. But literally, I think it was last week. They just told me, like, oh, you're actually coming up on Google now. I'm like, okay, thank you.
Nice. Yeah.
Right. So it's just like things like that, man. You manage your expectations, guys. Just
Totally.
know that, by virtue of the algorithm and the way things work, read into it, like,
Yeah.
do all your research and just understand it. Like, I'm not gonna say vote against you not happening overnight, but it
Yeah.
may not, and I wouldn't expect it to.
It's just good to have a plan in place if it doesn't.
Exactly.
And I just think you
Exactly.
set yourself up for a lot of hard times. If you jump completely 2 feet in, I'm not going to better myself in real life. I'm not going to work towards any sort of a profession or career. Because this is the only one for me. I just don't know if that's healthy or
It's not.
just good for you. I just think it could set you up for some, like you said, pretty hard times potentially.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good to dream, but you got to
Yeah.
manage your expectations. And I think I like the way you said it was perfectly. I think it was like one of the first like couple of streams I watched where you said, I don't know what someone said to you, but it was like
I can only
condescending.
imagine. Yeah.
It was like
That sounds about right.
condescending,
That
like
sounds like a
almost like
VTice stream.
yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody said something to you condescending. It was like kind of like a backhanded compliment or something. You were like,
Sure.
it was something along the lines of like, you're gonna need our money or something stupid like that. And you were like, yeah, I have a job. So
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like I really don't want people to donate, in anything, in any capacity, just because like disposable income only, and there's a lot of different reasons why I take that approach, and but I genuinely don't. I think there's better uses. Like I'd rather order DoorDash, me personally, before I go and donate or something. But I don't know. It's one of those things. But yeah, people are always gonna take a couple shots where they can get them, I suppose.
yeah, but you know what? I didn't take it like you're ungrateful for it. I took it like you have established yourself, right?
Sure.
You have your life in order. You've got what you want. This is just like for fun. And that's
Yeah.
100%. I think that's why I actually think that's exactly why you're going to see continued success.
I
Because
appreciate it. Yeah.
if you sit here and you stress every stream, dude, you
Yeah.
stress every moment.
How are my numbers? What were my donos?
Right.
What's my
Like,
ad
that's
revenue?
exhausting.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
imagine being like that
Me
because
neither.
and I don't want to say any names, but there are creators that are like I really don't. I should,
Sure.
but I'm
That's
not.
all right. Yeah, we'll keep it PG here today.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll keep
pull a
it.
couple
Yeah, I'm gonna
punches.
respect, but I know creators that are like that. I've spoken
Yep.
to them, and like I feel bad for them, man. Like, don't. I
Yeah.
can't imagine like waking up every day and being like, oh my gosh, this viewership was bad.
Yeah.
Versus like someone like maybe like that's not in our position. I'm not saying that we're holier than thou or better
Right.
than thou, but I would not want to be in their shoes to where like I'm over analyzing every single
Oh.
video that I put out, every
Well,
single piece of content. That sounds so mentally draining,
well, on top of that, it's out of your control to a certain extent. It's
Well,
like the algorithm didn't benefit me today, and that's just that. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
like
yeah. Oh,
it's
yeah.
just that simple. You could do everything perfect, and it just doesn't benefit you that day. It just wasn't
Yeah.
your day. It wasn't the algorithm didn't love you that day or something. So I
That's
think
all it
that's
is.
what's hard about it is it's just like sometimes it's like stuff you can't even control.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what you're banking on for survival.
Yeah.
It's just a tough place to be, I suppose. But at
Yeah.
the same time, some people thrive in that level of chaos, and good on you. But like, yeah, for my mental health, I couldn't. It'd have to be overwhelmingly, what's the word? Overwhelmingly, like I'd be good even on my bad days, right?
Right.
Or something
right.
like that. So,
Right.
speaking
right.
of which, Yugs, have you ever considered quitting YouTube?
No.
No, I already
No,
knew
no,
the
no, I
answer you were
wouldn't.
gonna say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I wouldn't because again, like, for your plan,
Yeah.
even if it doesn't get to the point where I can do it, like, completely full time,
Yeah.
like, that's okay. Like, this
Totally.
has been a great experience. I met great people,
Yeah.
right?
I'm having
It
fun. If that's the
yeah.
worst case scenario.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Like, why would I stop that?
Right?
You know what I mean? And
Dude,
I think
seriously.
the only way I would is if it got to a point to where, like, I don't know, like, I guess, like, it would have to be to where the space I think it would be more and we're gonna hopefully, we can talk about it more later, but, at least for, like, a couple minutes, even if we have it,
Yeah.
I think it would have to get to a point where, like, YouTube makes it difficult to be on here. You know what I'm trying to say?
I agree. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Like, I can't see myself stopping despite no matter what happens. It would have to be, like, almost like YouTube, like, pushing me away,
I agree.
if that makes sense, yeah.
No, no, I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
Well, brother, our next section is talking about kind of helping small creators, but to be honest, we've knocked out a lot of these.
Yeah.
Um,
We've been blending it in.
yeah, for sure have, man. It's been a great conversation, dude. Once again, I
Thank you.
appreciate you. 'Cause you literally did not stream today just because of this, and I do appreciate it. So,
Yeah, yeah, no,
yeah,
anyway, man.
thanks a ton for that, dude.
Of
Um,
course, of course.
let's see here. Anything in terms of if you were starting out fresh, day one, Yugs, you've never put out a video, you might not even have a channel name at this point.
Yeah.
What's kind of your mindset if you were starting over and you were starting right now? What would you be doing?
I would be researching
You nailed it.
for
I was
one.
gonna say the
Yeah.
exact same thing.
Researching, see what you like, see what you don't like, see what you expect and what you don't expect. Get that down, right?
Yep. Yep.
Find out what niche you'd like to be in because I just don't
That's a big
see
one.
yeah, I don't see it if it depends on what your intention is though, because it's not
Yeah.
wrong to do like what you said, which is like, hey, I'm just gonna just stream whatever I feel like.
If,
It's
if,
not
if that's
exactly wrong.
if you have that hobby mindset and you're not
Boom.
concerned with anything other than I just enjoy putting out whatever
Mhm.
content I want to, there's literally nothing wrong with that.
Boom. Exactly. It's kind of like what are your intentions?
Yeah.
Because to word it into like words of like card games, right?
Yeah.
There's like the best decks in the world, and then there's like you just want to have fun.
Totally.
If you
Yeah.
want to be the best card game player in the world, you're gonna play the
We
best.
get it, Hughes. You're the best card game player in the world. None of us can touch you.
Oh god.
Yeah. No, you're right though. It's your mindset, and I would
right.
recommend taking more of a hobby mindset, especially early,
Yeah,
versus
yeah.
trying to just go balls to the wall 2 feet in.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Don't expect much. Do your research. Make sure you know your niche, know your community. Actually
yeah,
care about your community because
definitely,
there's that too. Like you can't just jump in to, let's say, in our community, you can't just jump into Fall Guys and start saying like, "I'm
totally.
streaming, come here." Like,
Yeah,
see what it is see why people like customs. What is it
yeah,
that they enjoy about it, right?
yep, yep,
See what it is exactly. Like maybe join someone's customs and see if you enjoy it.
yeah,
Try to understand why they do or they don't. Like
yeah.
really get in there. You know what I mean?
It is
Because
funny when you watch a live stream after you began and you were doing it on your own. You do feel like you're watching tape or something, or like you're picking up little things, whether you know you're doing it or not. I like how he
Mhm,
answered that question. I like his mindset. I like,
mhm,
when he or she does X, Y, and Z in this scenario.
mhm, mhm. See why this person or that person has a lot of viewership.
Yeah,
Like one of the perfect examples that I would give another pro tip advice is look at, for example, a very good example of this is Semi10.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Semi10, when he streamed, okay, he broke the internet, right? In terms
Mm-hmm.
of like the Fall Guys community, I should say.
Yeah,
Reason being is because his content got him there.
yeah,
So if you want to
yep,
start in this space, focus on making some decent videos. He's a shining example of like, what your content can get you.
seriously,
So
it's true.
definitely like try to understand the editing process. Try to see what videos resonate with the community that you're in. It doesn't have to be Fall Guys, right?
Yeah,
Just insert game here.
literally.
What is it that they like to see? Why do they like to see it?
Yep.
And then you'd be surprised the amount of viewership you can get from like a live stream, mixed up the
Totally.
content, try different types of content. Like your first 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5 years that's your experimenting phase, man. To really like see
Without
like
question.
yeah, to really see like what works and what doesn't.
I
And
think
Semi-10 really like showed me that like your content can really carry you,
oh my
man.
gosh, like it's one of those
Yeah.
things. It's not like you have to live stream on YouTube to grow on YouTube. You don't. If your
Yeah.
content is, if you prefer to just do, VODs, videos on
Mhm.
demand versus going live, you absolutely can make it doing it that way as well.
Yup, yup,
You
yup,
know?
and then the fact that you already have an audience that enjoys your content, and then you
Yeah.
tell them, "Hey, I'm gonna be streaming this one day." You don't even have to kill yourself. He
No.
did it for, like, what, like, an hour or
I
2,
think it was like
barely?
2 hours. Yeah.
That's it, and
It
the
wasn't
dude
anything
broke,
crazy.
like,
Yeah.
I don't even think Stantric or Caboose hit those numbers. Like,
No.
you see what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
because he really understands, I would hope, that, like, his content was something that people really, like, resonated
Totally.
with.
Totally.
So hey, whether you start streaming or you start making content or whatever it is that you start doing,
Yep.
like really like hone in on okay, what can I provide and what are people looking for?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think it's always
That's
funny to see too with certain content creators or when you talk to different creators. It's funny to see what they thought it would be and then
mhm,
what it actually is now down the
yeah.
road. Because you're not going to be doing the exact thing you mapped out before you ever even hit the record button for the first time 5 years
Mhm,
later. Like I said,
mhm,
I
mhm.
never thought I was going to live stream. And now here
Right,
we are. You know what I mean? It's just like,
right,
oh,
right.
I didn't think I'd play a lot of Fall Guys. And now here we are.
Here we
I
are.
just, it didn't seem like it was the game for me. Then I tried it, had a blast with it. And, it's just, you keep on, yeah, it's just, you're going to be constantly evolving and doing different things. And, be open to trying different things. Be open to tweaking what you're doing for better or for
Mhm.
worse. You're not going to know unless you try.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. In terms of like technology research before you start out, I personally did some of this, and it did help. As much as I do make fun of and shit talk how much I hate technology, because I do. At the
Mhm,
same
mhm,
time, one thing that was nice, that was beneficial for me, was I looked up the editing software I was going to use and which one's better for someone who's new, which one's free, the least amount of
mhm,
download space before I even hit record on a video, before I even had my
mhm, mhm.
PC. Just like
Yep.
different research and things like that. What are the best recording software, streaming softwares,
Yep.
different things
Yep.
like that. So I think another one too. Is there anything else you'd add to that? In terms of technology that you can do research on before you even start.
No, no.
Yeah,
You hit the nail right on the head. Like, there's like I said, endless, endless, endless amounts of videos on YouTube you can look up.
yeah,
Just look up what's a good streaming PC. You
yep.
know what I mean? What does this do? What does that do? How much,
What's a
you know,
CPU? What's a
what's a
GPU?
CPU? Yeah,
Yeah,
it sounds so redundant, but like we have to remember too, our audience is relatively young. They may have never heard of this.
I hadn't
They
heard of it, bro.
and boom, there you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, I cannot tell you enough. Like, and there's a reason why I use like, for example, I use my laptop versus my PC to stream on and
Yeah,
play because I just don't have enough like RAM. You know
sure,
what I mean? Like, so I
sure.
split the RAM
Yep.
between my laptop and my computer, and they
Yeah,
might not even know what that means. So just look that
yeah,
up. Hey, how much RAM do I need to stream?
yeah.
What's a speed? Like look up all that stuff, guys.
Right.
I think that's where you need to start before you even
Hey,
press,
when
like you
the
said,
when the
record.
day comes when you get a new PC, are you gonna build your own, or are you gonna get it pre-built?
So
Full disclosure, I got pre-built because I was like, I'm gonna fuck this up, no
yeah,
doubt
that's
in
what
my
I'm
mind.
saying. Like
You know
like
what I mean?
everyone always tells me like you need to make one. It's different. It's better. The process is more rewarding, et cetera, et cetera. Like I just,
Yeah,
for the sake of, I guess like convenience, I would prefer to have it pre-built,
yeah,
but I'm not gonna say I am like I completely am turned off by the idea of making my own. So I think when I do get my own PC, I'm gonna make sure that if I do build it, I should say, excuse me, if I do build my own
yeah,
PC, I have like enough expendable income and time to really sit
yeah,
and understand like what each piece of hardware does, which
bro.
I have to be honest, I don't. Like I am a
Yeah,
100% like editor creative type. I am not a
Sure.
tech type. I
Oh.
learned the tech stuff from like trial and error, dude.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like that's one of those things is like, well, I don't really want to error this. You know, dude, you have
Yeah.
to like wear you're like supposed to like not stand on carpet and you're supposed to wear like
Yeah.
a no static wristband while you're doing it, or else you could like damage the parts. And as soon as I read that, I was like, I'm out. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm out. I'm gonna
happened to me.
screw this up. Yeah.
Yep. It happened to me. I freaking like I live in my where I live at is carpet everywhere.
Yeah.
Freaking fried my laptop. I had to fix it, dude. Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's just like little things like that. Like I would have never thought of that had I not seen
It's
it.
so annoying.
Yeah.
Like, I just know like, okay, this is my idea. This is what I want to do. How can I do it? And I just start experimenting. I'll break stuff. I'll have to uninstall stuff and reinstall it and I'll damage things. And it's just like, you know what I mean? That's not the way to do it.
Yeah.
Versus if I just like researched it first, you know, like, oh, I have an idea. All right, let me look up how to like bring this idea to life in the most optimal way possible.
Definitely.
I'm kind of just winging this thing, dude.
Oh, dude, yeah. That's how I feel every single day with what I'm both in real life and relative to the whole YouTube journey and everything. Literally. So, any big tips? Anything you do to kind of help with? By the way, we just finished our game rule number 1 of the podcast. We don't even talk about our gameplay on screen, but we did just finish it, so we'll just take it from the top. So yeah, they watched us getting shit on, by the way. Oh, but it's all right. No one's gonna make it to this part of the video anyways, so I think we're good. I think we're good. So
hopefully you don't see that.
I mean, we'll just go back to our wins here.
Yeah.
Any tips for kind of building that first 1K? And we all know the numbers. 4,000 hours of watch time, 1K subs, and we all know why. That's when you get monetized, right? Any tips? Anything that specifically helped you get there along the way?
Yes. When you're, and again, you're gonna hear me say this a lot because I just
let it rip.
I don't have it in me to take credit for myself because I didn't learn this on my own.
Yeah,
I learned this from research on YouTube. Stream Scheme again.
Yep.
Is he
paying you?
He's not. He's really not. But the dude puts it on YouTube for free.
Right? At this point.
Yeah. I can't. I don't have it in me to sit here and say like, yeah, I came up with this. I really didn't. You know what I mean? Like I did it. Like I'm telling you, this is what I did.
I was in my shower one day and I just thought this may work.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you.
He's some dude from like the UK, man. This guy, he just lays it all out for you. Yeah, man. Yeah. So I binged all his videos and here I'm at. So this is what I did. And this is what he says. When you press live button, right? You're making content, whether you realize it or not.
Yeah.
So you have to like pretend like it's a 3.5 hour long video. What moments can you emphasize? What parts can you clip to like say, okay, to have people come back and rewatch that stream? Because I'm telling you, that's where I got it from.
Yeah.
It's not by any virtue of anything else.
Yep.
And I can't tell you how many times I've had like maybe like 1, 2, just those 1 or 2 viewers going back and rewatching those streams is what got me there.
Totally.
I can't tell you how many times they would like come back and say, remember when I did this? And they would show me like a clip of like a stream from like 10 streams ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know if you've had the same experience.
Definitely.
But that's definitely what pushed it because I had my watch hours long before I had my sub count. And it is strictly because like those fun moments, and I think it's by virtue of Fall Guys as well. Like,
definitely.
Fall Guys, and I have my opinions on it, and I think I know why I stuck with it more than any other game. But I don't want to get on a tangent.
Ah, dude, let it rip.
Those moments 100% is what carried me to those watch hours. So to tie that in though, if you don't mind.
No.
Fall Guys is so unique in the sense that like it's one of the only games outside of like Fortnite, and even then, I'm gonna be honest, even then, I think I think Fall Guys is so unique that you can play with your viewers in ways that
1,000%.
You know what I'm saying, dude?
Yep.
You pick up what I'm putting down. Like I don't know how to really
direct interaction.
Yeah, it's so
they see
special.
you in the game with them, right?
Yeah,
you
so
see
it's
them.
Like it's this perfect storm that I can't really like put in the words, but like the fact that you can interact not only in chat but also like physically with the viewer,
right?
In that game, not physically, but obviously like through the game.
Yep,
it's an experience that I really cannot like. It's just a very unique experience, and I think it's undervalued.
Yeah, I
You know what I'm
couldn't
saying?
agree more. It
Yeah.
saved me still continuing to play Fall Guys. If it wasn't for customs, I wouldn't have been able to just play random, watch me drop into a
Hell
queue,
no.
you know, because
Hell no.
it gets old after a while. But
Yeah.
you could play in customs. I mean, it's you could put different wagers. You can do tournaments. You can talk trash to your viewers and say, I'm gonna clap the cheeks on this one. Watch this. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Different things like that.
There's
It
like
is.
storylines being built.
Yeah.
Like we have like literally, dude, we have like sagas
Yeah.
ensuing in the chat. We have villains, we have good guys, we have bad guys.
Yep.
We've got people with good reputations, people with bad reputations. We have the tryhards. We have
People
the
that always
casual.
pick lily leapers.
Right, right. It's literally a meme in my stream now that every
Right.
time we get a new sub, that new sub asks for Lily Leapers. And
Unfortunately, I don't get
Right.
it either. It's like they're
Right.
being paid actors or something.
Literally. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like these things, I just don't really see any other game doing.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like there's just no like interactivity. Like if I just play Call of Duty, you're watching me play Call of Duty. Sure,
Yep.
maybe I could be funny, maybe I could be that, but having a viewer come in, talk chat, talk their little trash,
Yep.
and then mess with you in the stream, there is just something there that's like it's lightning in a bottle, man. And I
Yeah.
really hope that this company understands that because
Totally.
it's 100%
Well, they're doing
going
their
to be
yeah.
like it's going to be their fault whether or not this game thrives.
I
And
agree.
I hate to rant on, but the whole glitching thing, like,
I
dude,
couldn't agree. You beat me to it. I was gonna say. I mean, it feels as though sometimes they're doing their best to try to kill customs. Like they took out a lot of the most popular game modes, the glitching component. People love doing the 60-player hexagon, one round, winner take all. You know, and it's quirky and everything, but it's unique.
Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think they understand that. Like, this is what makes or breaks games. Man.
Yeah, it
Because
is.
and I'm telling you, heed my warning. It's happened to me with Metal Gear.
Yeah.
I stopped making content for that specific reason, guys.
It's true.
I'm telling you, if you want us to really like give us your money, for us to give you our money.
Yeah.
Don't crap on your community that's carrying it.
It's
man.
true. It's true.
You know?
It's always the community that does. So
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, you're
That's
absolutely
the only reason
correct.
why half of these old games that people say, "Oh, that game died off," and then you're like, "Oh no, wait, but there's still X amount of people playing it."
Right.
It's their community.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. I share the exact same thoughts and feelings you do about it. So I hope they right this ship. I'm gonna put faith in. If Epic Games would just ask us, you know that if they would just ask us what they should do, it'd be the most popular game in America right now. Probably in the world. Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's so much potential in Fall Guys. That,
I agree.
It's a disservice, like some of the decisions that have been made. And I understand that there's like hardware limitations and time constraints and all that, but like, I wish there was more communication. If we understood, if they said, look, this is why we can't, this is what we're gonna do. I think we could vouch for them on that because as working people, we totally understand things take time.
Yep.
Not everything is as cut and dry, but man, like when you see the potential, it's hard for you to not be disappointed.
Without question.
It's like, I don't know, to use a sports reference. I'm not too good with sports, but when you see Tom Brady, you know what he can do and he underperforms, people get very disappointed.
Yeah.
Because you're like, dude, you can see it. You know what he's capable of.
And it's like you have seen it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like we've seen customs at their full, peak.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like it was almost like you just don't touch it.
Yeah.
Just let it ride. Add some new game modes if you want, but just let us do our thing.
Yes.
Yes. So
it's a shame, but we'll see. I'm optimistic. I'm hoping that they, are tuning in, but time will tell. Time will tell.
No, definitely it will. Cool, man. Hey, I got one more on the list, brother. Any advice for people before they start streaming? Any tips you would give with interacting with chat? Anything you wish you knew before you started? I have a couple. Well, one of the big ones, and a friend of both of ours in the community, I won't say his name, but you'll know who it is not everyone is who they say they are. So, for instance, people on YouTube can change their name every 14 days. So what can happen is they could come in and it could be Mr. B, same profile picture, the whole nine. It could be Yugi601, it could be VTice, and it's not. And it could be somebody else. always double check, because what they'll do is they'll come in as Yugi601. Hey, VTice, I think I should be mod. You know what, Yugs, you're right. Yeah, I think you should be mod too. That's my bad. I've been meaning to make you mod anyways. Boom, I hit him as mod, and it's not actually Yugs. Right? Yeah. So different things like that can happen. So I would always just say be cautious of who you're actually talking to would be a big one for me.
Yeah.
And I've almost fallen for that same thing before.
That's so
That's
so frustrating, man.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, is you cannot control the people of the internet, so you have to take precautions. You have to.
Yeah, I think that's 100% valid. I'm so glad that we at least have the tool to like go to that person's channel and check to make sure. So make sure you guys do that. Like if you do see someone who you're not 100% sure if it's them or not, make sure you like click their name. Like that's the first thing I would do.
It would be unlikely for Mr. Beast to come into my stream and be talking to me and asking to be mod. You know what I mean?
Exactly. The first question should be, is this the real Mr. Beast?
Yeah.
Click on their name, click on their channel, and see. If it is, all right, then, you know, obviously entertain that idea. But if it's not, you know, to save yourself the embarrassment and frustration,
totally
assume people who aren't who they say they are.
Right.
Right. 100%. I think that's valid. I think another thing is that, not all. This is tough because I don't want to be bad towards our viewers because we have a lot of good ones.
Sure.
But a lot of them.
There's some asshats that come in. Yeah.
100%. 100%. Yeah. And they wear it with pride. They wear the asshat with pride. I think try to remember that. I would say.
Yeah.
Try to remember that they're likely just trolling you. So try not to take it too harshly.
You won't.
I'm with you on there. Like I'm with you with the idea of like I don't see maybe the I don't see what's the pleasure of it.
Agreed. Yeah.
But try to understand that I think they're just like young and they think it's funny.
Definitely.
So try not to take it too hard.
No, I think it's a good one. Yeah.
And unfortunately, like I don't know how to word this lightly. Maybe you can help me, but like I don't know how to like. They're probably not always telling the truth. They're probably just messing with you.
It's just like I probably, you know, if I have whatever it may be, however many viewers. Let's say I average 10 viewers per stream. Right. I feel like I celebrate 5 birthdays a fucking day, Yugs.
That's
you
what
know
I'm
what
saying,
I mean? It's everybody's birthday.
Yeah.
You know, all the time. And that's the thing, is it's hard to navigate when, you know, I was in Coach's stream not too long ago, and he had someone that was like giving you like a monologue story about how, it's so weird. I just pulled into my house and the window's kicked out. That's weird.
Yeah.
I'm going to go in there and check it out. It's like, all right, well, I'm inside. Nobody's in here, but I hear a noise coming from down the stairs. And I'm just sitting there just like, and you're on a Fall Guys stream?
Yeah.
Wait, there's a potential murderer in your home. So it's like, do you call out the BS or do you let it ride? You can play that either way. There's not necessarily a right answer. Early on, I would tend to let it ride more. Now I'm probably more so calling out the BS like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's hard because sometimes people will tell you like heartbreaking stories and stuff on there, and you have to play like it's 100% valid because most people wouldn't make something like that up, but there are some that would just to get a reaction out of you.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, it's hard to navigate.
It's so hard, man. Like it's like me personally, I can only speak for myself. I just assume everyone's lying.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's like healthy to tell people to do. You know what I'm trying to say?
It's to each his own. It's not a bad approach to it by any stretch of the imagination. Because that's the thing, is half the times they'll tell you like a story. Again, they're young, and I understand that, but they'll tell you a story that is not okay to joke about, and then you will offer your condolences and say how sorry you are, and then they will say LOL JK. You know what I mean? And you're just sitting there like, I just gave you I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's not a bad approach by any means. But at the same time, it's hard because it's like, well, the last thing I want to do is, if this is a legitimate story, no matter how crazy it may sound, I want to offer my condolences and show some level of humanity.
Yeah.
You know, so then you're kind of caught in between.
Yeah, I took a note from you on that, man. I'm gonna be real, because you would say that. You'd be like, "Oh, my condolences. I apologize," and you kind of like push forward.
Yeah.
I think the way you approach it is, that would be my advice to people, is kind of like acknowledge it and push forward. If they keep harping on it,
Yeah.
it might be best to like, I'm not gonna say ignore, but it might be best to not
Yeah.
gas it more than it needs to be gassed.
Right.
I think that's the way to put it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you're
Like
you're
don't make like a
100% correct.
don't make a spectacle about it.
Yeah.
Like just say, "Hey, my condolences. I'm sorry for your loss. I appreciate you being here," and then literally move on. Because if you make a show of it and they are a troll,
They got what they wanted, they'll do it again.
exactly,
Yeah, because that
exactly,
same
yeah,
person will just change their username, come in and do it over again.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so
It's so
it's hard because it'd be nice if we could know everyone was telling the truth, because then you'd offer your heart and soul to them. You know what I mean? If you knew everything was
mhm.
legitimate, but you just don't, and it's just the hard reality, unfortunately, of it.
Yeah,
But that's
exactly.
part of being on the internet. You know, is many things are not true on the internet.
Yeah, it's
You know.
so it's so disgusting, man.
Yeah, it
Like
is.
people like faking, people passing away or
Yeah.
serious diseases that I don't want to mention. It's
Yeah.
just so
Yeah.
it leaves such a bad taste in my mouth that it's
It
just like
does.
you become
Yeah.
a little callous,
Yeah, you
even
do.
though, like you said, like somebody really could be serious about it, and I'm over here thinking like you're trolling. Like I
Yeah.
remember there was one time,
Exactly.
there was someone in my stream who was like related to a pretty loyal viewer of mine,
Yeah.
and they were saying they're a girl, but the way they were speaking, right? And this might not sound well to some people, but just the way they were acting was typical of boy behavior. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Like young men,
Sure.
and the things that they might say. So I just
Sure.
assumed like this has got to be like a guy. Like there's no way.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is
Right.
my personal experience, but
Yeah.
turns out they really were a woman, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." But you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
stuff like that kind of like it calluses you for sure.
It
So you got
does.
to kind of
No, it's and
yeah.
I think it's good for people to hear that, because it's better to be prepared, because I was not. You know, and the
Yeah.
first time I got burned by it was a kid, and I think for attention he did message me on Discord, he did apologize, but according to him, he was in the hospital with hours to live, right? And it's like
Right.
if you're not prepared or you haven't even thought about that scenario, what do you do? And I went, moved heaven and earth to make sure, like, hey, you're gonna be okay, everything, and it all turns out to be a lie, and then you feel like an idiot, and
Mhm.
everything. But it's like, and then like, your chat got fooled. Everybody did. So again, it's not cool to do that to chat as well. Everybody, all the other viewers also. So it's just tough, but it does happen, and it unfortunately, the cold hard truth is it's probably a lie more than it's actually the truth, which is unfortunate. But if
Yeah.
I'm on my deathbed, Yugs, I won't speak for you. But if I'm on my deathbed to hours to live, I ain't gonna watch your Fall Guy stream. I'm just gonna tell you that right now, Yugs, just so you and I are on the same
Yeah.
page.
Of course,
Like,
of
dude,
course.
hey, set a new PR for this Lily run here, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah,
something like
literally, like,
that.
that doesn't even make sense. That's why
Yeah.
I'm kinda like I don't know. I think it depends on the type of person you are. I try to give
True.
people the benefit of the doubt 90% of the time. I try to
Yeah.
be gracious with, like, interpreting what people are saying to me
Right.
rather instead of taking it as negative, I
Totally.
take it as, like, maybe they're being legit, but
Yeah.
over time, we'll see where we're at, like, by next year, but little
Right.
by little, I feel myself getting a little more, like again, like, for lack of a better word, callous towards these
Yeah.
type of situations,
No,
and
dude, it's
instead
legitimate.
of just, like, making a show of it, just like you said, like, what you do is perfect. I think not
Yeah.
only because it's not rude, you're not, like, ignoring them, but you're also not, like,
You,
getting baited.
you kind of have your foot in both camps to a certain
Boom.
extent, right?
Yeah.
Which is the best you can do. It's kind of a lose-lose, to be honest with you, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's just the way it goes. And for whatever it's worth, when there have been trolls and scenarios, you say the same thing, whether it's legitimate or not. If they are trolling, they're gonna stop. They don't get the
Yeah.
reaction they want out of you. They're moving on to the next one. So out of sight, out of
Exactly.
mind.
Boom,
No longer
boom.
your problem. So,
Mhm.
nice, brother. Tell you what, man, we hit
Yeah,
every single point on there. You got anything for me, my dude?
I do, I do. I'm glad you asked. So, I have some questions for you.
Fire away, boss.
Let's let's see. Okay, so I think we harped on it earlier,
Yeah.
but my first thing I wanted to, I guess, praise you on
Oh, thank you. I needed this. Remember when we agreed that you'd come on, I asked, would you praise me? So this is perfect. This is perfect. All right. Thank you for holding up your end.
Oh. I like this idea. I don't know if it came from you or if maybe you got it from someone else and it inspired you, but just your kind of like your philosophy on like having this like group grow mentality. I don't know what to call it.
Yeah.
Where like you're cool with like other streamers growing. You know, you've given me promotion that I would have to pay for, dude.
Nah, dude,
so
not at all.
It's the elephant in the room, man. I gotta say this. I have to tell you.
Right.
Let me tell you. I would usually have to pay people for that type of stuff, but you just do it so willingly. And I
appreciate it, brother.
I don't see anyone really doing that. So outside of like people in your circle are like that too. So I just don't know if it's like something like I'm out of the loop. I'm relatively new here. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
What? No, I mean,
and I appreciate that you were so welcoming and so like open to like telling people who I am and what I do and what I stream. I'm fascinated by that. I don't know if you want to elaborate on that.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'll try to give kind of some thoughts on it. I guess it's in terms of where the mindset comes from is number one, I'm not trying to do this alone. Part of it is I have the very much hobby mindset. I'm in a very blessed scenario where I enjoy what I do for work. If I continue my job forever, I'm going to be just fine. I'm very happy with my job. If YouTube ever becomes something where it's something that I could be full time, that'd be wonderful. It would be a tough debate, and it's not from a money standpoint. It's from a pure enjoyment standpoint. I enjoy doing both. Like, there's a strong possibility I would consider my real life job just at more of a part-time role because that's how much I enjoy it, and I'm very blessed for that. So number one, not that everyone has this competitive mindset, but a lot of people certainly do. But whether I quote unquote make it or not, like I just don't give a fuck, to be honest with you. I'm having, but like in all seriousness, I'm having fun doing it how we are right now. So if it stays at this level forever, we're good, man. We're absolutely good, and I'm gonna go to sleep happy every single night, you know. On top of that is I think once you make it to a certain point, and whether that be, you know, I don't know, monetization or 1K subs or whatever it may be, I think there's a kind of mutual respect everybody has to a certain level of the creators where I know how hard you've worked to get here. Because I think a lot of times people say, well, Mr. Beast has 500 million subs. He has 1 billion subs. 1K should be no problem. No. 1K is your hardest 1K to get. You know what I mean? Like that's when you put the most time, effort, energy into. So I have a profound respect, and I think people should be rewarded for that. So if you're going to be nice enough to come into my stream and say hi, if you're going to be nice enough to raid me, number one, I want to see you grow a little bit as well. And I just think, I don't know. I guess I just kind of think it's the right thing to do sometimes, but dude, that's a long-winded answer. But I don't know. I'd be remorse. In all honesty, I think the other part of it is I thoroughly enjoy your channel. I enjoy your content. I enjoy your streams. I enjoy getting to hang out and talk to your wife in there as well. Yeah. I enjoy everything that you're doing, and other people I know would enjoy it. So I think I'm also trying to send the viewers somewhere they'd enjoy as well. And, you know, there's been plenty of viewers I've had where, hey, you should go check out Coach 4-Star, and they stay. You should go check out Yugi601, and they stay. And that's wonderful. I love that because I'm not the cup of tea for everybody. Neither are you. Neither is Coach.
Right.
You know, people like different things. So, I mean, nothing makes me happier than that. And I don't know. I just think it's kind of the right thing to do. And I want to see everybody eat, you know, and everyone in our group eat as well. So, again, long-winded answer, but
no. I asked. Hey, I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know genuinely because it's just
that was a good question.
Like, absolutely. Like, is this like something? Do you like? Are you kind of like this like growing up? Like, did you have like siblings and stuff? Or,
I had an older sister who commanded everything. Yeah, so maybe that's probably part of it, I suppose. But okay. I mean, I had an older sister. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what I could relate it to, you know, in real life from terms of growing up. But nothing I can necessarily tailor it to. I guess it's just kind of in the content creation world. I respect everyone who's made it to whatever point they have. You know, even if I don't agree with all the ways they made it there, I still respect the work they put in. Because, like, to your point, I mean, you could be Mr. Beast's cousin and, you know, you could blow up for one day, but no one's going to stick around because you're not Mr. Beast. You know what I mean? So then it's like, if you want to make this a job, nah, you got to grind too, just like the rest of us.
Yeah, I really admire that about you, man. Honestly,
I appreciate that. Yeah,
I really look up to, man. You really made me look differently, like at how this space can go.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think when you first start to get into it, you don't think about other communities being part of yours. You think of you and your community, and that's about it. But then all of a sudden, once you kind of get to meet new people, it shifts to, well, all of a sudden, like, I'm a part of Yugi's community. Yeah. Like, so I want to see Yugi do well. I'm a fan of him just like all of you, you know? And like whatever I could do, just like whatever you guys can all do to help him get to wherever he wants to go. I mean, that's a win for all of us, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
like when you got rated by Semi-10, you know,
oh
I missed
my
it,
God, dude.
but I went back to it and I was so happy, man.
Oh, well, thank you.
I was so happy
my hands were like numb. I couldn't think or talk or anything else. Yeah, it was insane, insanely nice of him. And then it's cool that he's like in our group chat now on Discord and everything.
Yeah, that's
you know?
crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought? Yeah, I mean, he's such a good dude, and
and
that's I think that's the other part of it. This is the last thing I'll say. I apologize, but
no.
I don't think anybody ever, like, I didn't make it here by myself. I made it here because of raids and people promoting me and helping me and, you know, just doing like altruistic like favors for me. You know what I mean? It's like there's no reason why anyone ever had to raid me, and they never expected me to raid them back.
In my experience, like watching people on Twitch, none of them are like that unless like
really
they already either know each other, or like they're in like the same game space kind of. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm being like speaking ignorantly. I just never seen this level of altruism. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, I just never seen it. So seeing it from you, from people like Pixels, from people like Cameron, Coach, they're all like that. And I'm just like, man, like this is just so different.
I count my blessings that I've been lucky enough, because it's kind of like, you know how everyone knows someone in high school who was a great kid, came from a great background, fell into it with the wrong crowd, and then they were just never quite the same. Life could have projected out a little bit differently. I feel like content creation, like if we just happen to meet people who are behind closed doors, actually toxic, actually not the best people. So I just count my blessings every day that we've met who we have. I just feel incredibly lucky. And I think also when it's just like, I feel like I don't necessarily, I don't know if deserves the right word, but I have no reason to know and get to hang out with and interact with all the great content creators and with the same community. It just kind of feels like it just kind of happens sometimes. So I just feel very lucky, and you just want to pay it forward, you know?
It changed, I would say, the way I look at this landscape. Because to me, when you first start, it's like, okay, I want to be like, not competitive, but I want to like excel in this space because I really want to see myself like getting far. But then like you kind of like whether unintentionally like relieved that feeling of like I'm alone and I need to be everyone. You know what I mean?
No,
that is so invaluable,
and that's the thing. And you know, like somebody did it for me, and you're gonna do it for somebody if you haven't already. You know what I mean?
Oh, numerous times. Right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it was so contagious. It's almost like this. This kind of like mindset that like it's so amazing. Honestly, I give you guys all the credit in the world, man. I can't believe it was even like that. I never expected it. You know, when I joined your streams, I was there because I genuinely enjoyed it. But then you're like, hey, Yugi, I went over to your channel and I saw your streams, man. What's up with that? I was like, what the fuck? What? You know, because hey, everyone knows like number one rule, hey, no self promo is kind of crazy. Right? So I'm just sitting there. I'm literally just chilling, bro. I'm just talking. And then like and I hate when this happens. Like someone else joined and they have like my name and their name. So it was like it was like because it happened with Wild Bill, actually. Not Wild Bill, if you're hearing this. I know it's not on you, because again,
can we rule that out though? Can we rule out Wild Bill and put somebody up to something?
No, because I went over to his stream, you know, because you want to know the landscape again, right?
Totally.
Research. You want to see what's going on.
Totally.
and someone that goes in there with the name, I love Yugi601, right? I'm sure you remember.
Yep.
There's some people that have that name, right?
Yep.
And I would go to Wild Bill's stream, and that person would keep talking about me, keep talking about me, keep talking about
Yeah.
me. And Wild Bill's like, "This is kind of weird, dude. Like, can you stop?"
Right.
But that was like the extent of it. So I was like, okay, so I should probably like be careful now. But the fact that you were
Yeah.
like so, and now Wild Bill, he understands that it wasn't like because I think he took it as like I have multiple accounts or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but now that I'm a creator, I see that. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I see why he was getting a little irritated.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm kind of going on a tangent.
No, and rightfully so. Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, it never bothers me, but however, it can disrupt the flow, and like that's been in there because there's been times where I'm on stream and you're in there hanging out. It's like, hey Yugi, when you streaming next? Yugi, when you streaming next? And I'm just like, Yugs, like fucking send it. You got the full green light to let them know, but but like you don't want to cross the line because it's an etiquette thing, right?
Yes.
If I'm in Yugi's stream, I would never, and even if somebody asks, you don't even like, you want to pretend, oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Somebody asking me about my content, because it's just rude and it's bad etiquette, and everybody shares that as well. But I've done this with Coach, I've done this with Bill, I've done this with you, where it's like, you let it rip, bro. Talk to him, because I want to know, Yugi, when is your next stream? Right? And it's just stuff like that. But at the same time, I get it. Whereas you don't want to respond, but then they keep asking. So now it's like, yeah, that is like secondary to you, not because of you by any means. But now like that did, like, I just disrupted Wild Bill's stream. You know what I mean? And you feel terrible about it, but he gets it. I mean, that happens to him everywhere he goes as well.
Right. And it's refreshing.
It is.
It's refreshing because there are others who will have like zero tolerance for that. So
yeah,
the fact that you did that, even when I'm still small, man, but I had I had to have had under like 500.
I don't.
That,
off the top of my head, I can't remember the number, but
I clipped it.
Oh, really?
Saved it. Yes,
yeah,
I saved it.
That's
I'm
awesome.
Not letting it go because
I appreciate that.
Whether you realize it or not, really elevated my feeling towards this space.
Well, I appreciate that, dude. Yeah, no, I mean, happy to do it, and that's the thing is, then you pay it forward to the next person, right? And which you have done. So that's just the way it works. Is somebody did it for me? Yeah, it's not like I'm the first one to be inviting into a stream and happy to promote other creators. So people have certainly done that for me. So I'd be more than happy to. Sorry, real quick before you ask your next question, dude, I gotta piss like an absolute racehorse. Is it cool if I make a quick run?
Yeah, I'll do.
I apologize. All right, bro, sounds good. I'll be back in like 2-3 minutes. That's how bad of a piss this is gonna be.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, I think I'm good.
All righty, brother. Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Very nice. All right, sorry about that, dude. I was about to explode. So I apologize. It's been fun, by the way.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, man.
I love these types of things.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Yeah, sorry to kill any and all momentum there, by the way.
No. You're good. You're good, man. You're human. All right, so let's see here. So my next question to you was going to be your love of sports, man.
Yeah.
It's a big thing for you. Okay?
Yeah.
I know that, recently things
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. But I won't. However, was this something like, was it sports or specifically more like football that like you grew up with, that you appreciate? Like, have you played it?
Yeah, so played a couple of played a lot of different sports when I was pretty young. Wasn't particularly great at any of them, but I enjoyed them. It was fun. Mm-hmm. Played a lot of sports growing up, and then the love and passion for Ohio State, even after we had a devastating loss to Georgia, which I have still not gotten over, but there you go, Yugs. There you go. If you wanted that, you got it. I'm giving you a hard time, but it was in Ohio. We didn't have a ton of stuff to do, and I hate like living up to the Ohio memes right now when I start bashing Ohio, but it was kind of all everybody did. It's different being in Colorado now when kids don't take sports quite as serious. I used to always ask my sister and brother-in-law why you think that is before I moved out here. And they would just always say they just have other things to do. They can ski, they can snowboard, they can hike, they can do all these different activities. The outdoorsman activities out here, or they are plentiful. They have plenty of. They can go fishing, they can go hunting, different things. So they just have a lot of different passions and a lot of different things. And Ohio is really, Ohio is one of the biggest states in terms of passion for high school football. There's certainly some other states, and some certain states in the Midwest that are very passionate about it. But I think it is a cultural thing when you don't have other particular things to do just because off of geographical location. Like cats down, and I guess Florida and Cali are pretty big sports. But like in Oregon, you have the coast, you have, the woodlands and things like that. So it was a product of not having a ton of different things to do, I suppose, quite literally. Gotcha. So everyone just kind of played sports, and then I'm kind of in the area. I'm near Columbus. I'll go that far. I grew up somewhat near Columbus, and so like that was our pro team. We didn't have anybody, and I am a Browns fan, unfortunately, but that is what it is because we suck. Yugi, in case you were wondering why that's unfortunate. We've sucked my entire life. Yugi. Grandfathers used to tell me, I just want to see the Browns win a Super Bowl before I die. And Yugi, now I'm saying it. I just want to see the Browns win a Super Bowl before I die. And I mean it when I say that. Sorry to go off on a rant, but yeah.
No, you good. Like I said, I'm not familiar with the space, but is it like Lions bad, or is it like, are the Browns worse?
We're comparable to the Lions.
Yeah. I've heard of like the Lions being that bad.
Yeah.
I didn't know much about Browns.
If you were to talk NFL bottom feeders, Lions or Browns are both there. Jets recently have been there. They're already these better season this year. I'm not gonna make this an NFL discussion, but there's been a couple of franchises equally as trash as us. But yeah, in terms of just trash cultures and we always suck, yeah, it's pretty much Detroit and Cleveland.
Are Dolphins on the same realm or no?
Dolphins haven't won a Super Bowl for a long. I don't think they never won one with Dan Marino, but they've had success where they're consistently making the playoffs. They've had good teams. Like we don't have a Super Bowl. And it's bullshit because we won the championship in like 65 with Jim Brown, and they made it a Super Bowl in like 68 or 69. So we were just like 2-3 years early. But everyone likes to dunk on us because we've never won a Super Bowl, which is true. We haven't. And there's a couple of franchises that haven't, namely the Lions and the Browns. So yeah, we just get shit on by everybody, but it is what it is. It's one of those things. Go ahead.
Is this more of like a state thing then, or like what? Like I don't know, because I feel like I would just be like, I don't care anymore. But like,
yeah, you would imagine so.
Yeah, like what's I guess.
It's one of those things. There's a culture, and I'll only speak for Ohio because it's all that I can speak for. But I would imagine this is probably true in other geographical areas as well. It's just when you grow up with it. It's quite literally rooted where it's like I remember watching Ohio State when I was young. I remember watching the Browns when I was young with my dad, with my grandpa, whatever. So then there's almost a nostalgia value to it, and it does feel as though it's kind of like bred into your roots a little bit. You know what I mean? Awesome, whereas, man. Like, you have the gear your whole life, like in Columbus, all the newborn infants are wrapped in, they're given like a scarlet Ohio State hat or something, right? Or they're given like a, Ohio State, what do they call that? I don't know, whatever the hell that blanket's called, they wrap the newborns in. It's like an Ohio State one. So it's just part of the culture. You're brought up. No. On Saturdays, we watch Ohio State. It's like the Mean Girls, where it's like on Fridays we wear pink or something like that. Like this is how we do it.
That's beautiful, man. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's cool. I'm genuinely asking because I just don't understand. Yeah. So I'm glad to have the insight. Now, is there like a I know you have more of a passion, it seems like, for, you said high school and college ball. Now that was college ball, that last game was?
Yeah, so Ohio State, that was college. We were in the semifinals. We lost by 1 point to Georgia, and we should have won that game, Yugs. Oh, dude, Yugi, I am 28 years old. I almost cried after that game, and I am not joking when I say that. I didn't. I almost if I wanted to, if I didn't suppress it, I would have cried. I could have cried.
Yeah, I know what I know, but when I saw the score, I thought two things. I thought, damn, that was a very high scoring, electrifying game. And it really sucks that it ended that way.
Yo!
That's the only two things I assumed. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. It was a phenomenal game, and it really sucked that we lost that way. Yeah,
Yeah,
you nailed it
yeah.
right on the head, Yugs.
Yeah, it sounded like the journey was a hell of a journey, but the way it ends sucks, man.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does, and that's the thing is, once you do get like super invested into a team, is just like, God, I love these players. Like I legitimately have I have like an emotional connection to them, even though obviously I don't know any of them. But it's just
No,
like
I
you want
got
to,
you.
like they're such good kids. You want to root for them and everything. And,
Yeah.
you do get very much invested into it. So
Yeah, I've
it's
been
like you feel
told
for
that there's
them.
like I've been told there's a different kind of passion for college ball
Yeah,
than it is
that's
for
that
yeah.
tends to be geographical, right? So, for instance, like
Okay.
in Ohio, there's a very, very strong passion for Ohio State now, especially Columbus.
Right.
If like so here in Denver, like this is a Broncos city first, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
maybe Avs, probably Avs second, Nuggets third, and then the Rockies probably fourth. Their baseball team, and
Okay.
like Chicago, despite everyone being passionate about the Bears, Chicago is a Cubs town, and different like Cleveland. Cleveland is a Browns town more than it is the Indians. Things like
Gotcha.
that. So it depends on where you go. Different cities they prioritize pro teams more than college. Depends what you have, because
Yeah.
Colorado doesn't have any good college teams.
Right.
So
Right.
they're not going to hang their hat on that. But people are still proud of the Colorado Buffaloes and everything. But it pales in comparison to
Yeah, I never even
the
heard of them. Like
Broncos.
even me
Yeah.
who doesn't watch like sports, right? Like I've heard of Ohio State, I've heard of like Alabama, I've heard of like
Yeah.
the way the Florida, I think it's do they have I'm sorry if I'm so
No.
wrong right now, but it's the Gators, right?
Yeah. Nope. You're correct.
Yeah, like I've heard
Yeah.
of them. They have like the funny little mascots and stuff.
Yep.
Like so sometimes like even people like myself, like the culture of college ball transcends,
I
and
agree.
even I hear about it. You know what I mean?
And
So
I think that's one of the bigger things that draws me to it. And again, I'm biased because I grew up Ohio State first, everything
yeah,
second. But there is something cool about just the culture and tradition that is college sports that you just don't get in the NFL, right?
oh yeah, no, dude, you guys, it's practically a religion. Like
It is.
I don't even see that type of enthusiasm in church. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah. I get attacked by the Holy Ghost, not in church, but during Ohio State games. And I got attacked by the Holy Ghost on last Saturday, whenever that game was. But tell you what, I got to repent for my sins after that game. Man.
It's funny, man. Some of the stuff I see, like people trying to do like little like bad juju
Yeah.
spells,
Oh,
but I don't see that in the NFL. I see it's
yeah.
always in the college games. They go crazy.
I would agree. Yeah, there is a specific level of passion there, right? And I think it's like the college kids. They're only there for 3-4 years, so there's some different things behind it, I suppose. Which is you could be an NFL fan your entire life for that same team, but you're only a member of Ohio State for technically 4 years, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's really cool.
great question though. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm very interested. Like I said, I'm not really like.
Well, if you need a
into
team,
that
Yugs, you can come on board with Ohio State.
Dude, I got you.
Yeah,
I'm down
bro.
for whatever.
All
Like
are welcome.
I am a clean slate, and
Yeah.
I think one of the coolest things to kind of like wrap up this subject is I like the storylines. I feel like football fans, like they know the storylines,
Totally.
and that's always like fascinating to me.
Oh,
Like I'll sit there
totally.
and I can listen to them like talk about like this player and he grew up here and yeah, he was a beast in high school and he got
Yeah.
scouted out by this guy who knew this guy and
Yep.
this one time he broke his knee, but then he recovered. Like I don't know how you guys
Yeah.
don't like that stuff, but it's like amazing.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's recruiting's a whole different animal when you want to follow
Yeah.
kids in high school getting recruited. That one I've had to take a little bit of a break on because I got a little bit too invested in that. And then at that point, it's just like, where's the time go? You know what I mean? Like I'm doing theoretical like he's not even a member of Ohio. He hasn't even committed yet, and I'm already researching this kid's tape and stuff. So
Yeah, I'm telling you, like I usually in my streams when the fans of sports come in, it's more me asking them questions,
Yeah.
and I genuinely like enjoy the answers because these guys,
Yeah.
man, you guys know, these storylines,
Right.
No,
Yeah.
I'm like that. I'm like that with MMA, so I'm very like
Sure,
in the loop with that. Like that's more
sure.
of my like thing. But I think I remember you saying like you're not that familiar with it.
I
So
I enjoy MMA. I struggle a lot of times to buy the pay-per-views sometimes, but man, like I was big into it when John Jones was on his tear. Like I
yeah.
thoroughly enjoyed the guy because I felt like you feel like you're watching the GOAT, like in his
Mhm.
prime right now. And I wish his like out of the octagon antics didn't get so out of like so in his way, I suppose.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Because what he could have been, and I do enjoy it. Do you know Justin Gaethje?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Dude, I actually met him and hung out with him a couple of times. Yeah, one of my
What?
patients is his neighbor. Well, one of my former patients was his neighbor, and they were good friends. He'd come over there and hang out. I hung out with him before the Khabib fight.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah, it was like a week or two. It was like a couple days or maybe like a week before he left for whatever that fight island was. I can't remember where that was, but if you
Mhm.
remember that, I think it was like in the midst of COVID. So they were doing that fight island. But it was, yeah, it was before
Yeah.
he left for that. So yeah, super nice dude, super cool dude.
That's freaking crazy,
Yeah.
man. You literally stood next to a damn near a guy who can kill you.
Yeah, and then I had to explain to him the story about you know that game at the carnival where the speed bag comes down and you punch
Yeah,
it and it
yeah.
records your score, bro.
Yeah.
So that only goes on a y-axis, and I hit it at an angle, and I sprained my wrist and scored like I don't know, like a 75 on it or something, bro. Couldn't weight train, couldn't do anything with that wrist for weeks. I had to explain that to him, the most violent fighter in the sport,
He was-
arguably. You know.
So what? He was like, "Oh, I didn't know that," or did he know?
He was just like laughing at me. Yeah, that was the end of it. Yeah, he was like asking me if I ever had like any like. Well, I think we were just like all like joking around, and everyone knew that like I'm soft and like I'm not a fighter by any means. And he was like
Right. asking
me that. He's like, yeah, like you have any experience? And I was like, that's pretty much it. I sprained my wrist on a carnival speed bag one time, and that was the end of it. Yeah, yeah, but he was super nice and like approachable dude and everything, given his
Yeah,
status and what he is. He was a great guy.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting story. Yeah, man, dude. Um, I know personally 2 people in the
Oh,
MMA.
really?
Yeah, it's so crazy. It's kind of like mind-boggling. Yeah.
Yeah.
They went to my same hometown. One of them I actually worked with.
No kidding.
Yeah, but again,
I'll-
another day.
I'll ask you. Yeah, I'll ask you when we wrap this up who they are. 'Cause
Yeah,
I don't want you to give out personal info.
and I'm sorry. Look at that. I'm getting my things mixed up. The next
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
We you're probably gonna want to hear this. Story.
That's
Yeah, it's
awesome. I
interesting.
can't
Yeah.
wait. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll leave it at that. But
Love it.
Yeah, so that's cool. My next question, real quick, will be: I was gonna say, do you have a fond like stream memory?
That's a good one. I
Because I know
think.
there's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple that probably stick out. Is the Semington raid was pretty special because similar to what you were talking about earlier with when Semington raided, it was one of those things where, and not that this was the case for you, but this was certainly the case for me when Semington raided. Was I was like, dude, there is no way I can repay this. Literally
Yeah.
zero way that I can repay this to you. You know what I mean? It's just like you're way too big. I cannot believe you. That was so nice of you and everything. That one was up there because probably for the same reasons you listed, where it's just like the fact that he would even take the consideration to do that, let alone to actually do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I really appreciated from him. I think I was live on stream when we hit 1K, and that was because of a Brocules/Brocules. I still don't know how to pronounce it. I mean to ask
Me
him that.
neither, bro.
Yeah.
I always say it wrong. I feel like.
Yeah, same. Went Brock rated and then Brett.com rated as well. And for the sole fact of this dude's almost at 1K subs. Let's get him there. Come on, guys. And it was quite literally like, talk about altruism. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I never forget when that happened. Pictures did that for me, man.
Yeah, dude, and I regret missing it. Me and Godfather were just talking about you about ready to hit 1K like the day before or something, day or two before it happened, and then I missed the raid, and I forever regret that. I've gone back and watched it like 10 times. I pretend I was there. And then
okay, man.
Probably the other one I think for me that sticks out was, if you remember, early on in Fall Guys Customs, there was a minimum requirement. It's now 4, but it used to be 10.
Yeah.
So I would go live and it'd be like, playing with viewers, but we could never do customs because we'd get 5.
Yeah.
We'd get 6. and then we would sit there and we'd wait for more to come in, and they just never came. And then one day we eventually had, I think it was probably 10 people, to be honest with you. And I think it was cool just to hit that very small marginal. Doesn't mean anything to anyone else, but it was such a small benchmark, and you remember who was there for it too. But just to be able to play custom games, like that was such a big accomplishment.
Yeah, because there would be those multiple times where people would suggest it, right? Like, hey, we should do customs. And then you're like, I don't know if I really want it. It hurts.
Yeah, you know, I'm not feeling it. When in reality, you just couldn't. you know
you ain't gonna hit that 10.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, man.
So
That's awesome.
that was a cool one. I there's almost something more special about the smaller milestones. You know what I mean? Than like the super big ones. Don't get me wrong. I mean, 1K is a huge one, and you're unbelievably appreciative for it. But I think, and I told you this when we were gaming the other day, the 1K wasn't as special for me, and the reason for that was I had that Charles Barkley. It was like a random short that I posted for no reason, just to post one, and it blew up. You know, however many views it got, but it got me like 700 subs. So my mindset still is I'm 700 subs less than what I say I am. And I'm sure many of them have unsubbed because it's just like, well, why is this guy even showing up on my feed? I don't blame them. They're there to watch like sports Charles Barkley content, you know? And then they're seeing me playing Fall Guys or something. But at the same time,
I notice a lot of your audience does talk about sports, so that helps.
True.
You know?
True.
So I wouldn't necessarily discredit that. Who knows? I mean, I don't know what your mindset is, but it would, I'm sure I'm looking at it like if you were to continue, let's say, doing that, they can come to your stream and talk about it.
Totally.
But
yeah.
Nice. I like to hear that. Speaking of your audience.
Yep.
What do you feel about them being mostly on the younger side? Because I have my opinions on it.
Yep.
To throw it out there real quick, I do not mind, number one.
Yep.
And number two, I would talk about it with my wife all the time, and I thought like I'd rather them be with someone like us than someone who's toxic.
Valid. That's a good way. I never thought of it that way. I like that.
Yeah, because I'll give you an example. If I had a kid, right, they wanted to play Fall Guys Customs, right?
Yep.
Daddy, I want to play Fall Guys Customs on YouTube, right? And you popped up, and the way your attitude is and how you are, right?
Unless we're arguing about candy bars.
Yeah.
That'd be a bad day to catch me on.
Yeah. But I want to talk about that, actually. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up. Hold on. I got you.
All right.
I like that it would be you rather than like if I saw someone who was very, very negative, toxic, unwelcoming. You see what I'm saying?
Totally.
So there's that. And then also, I do respect that you gave a forewarning and said, hey, guys, you might want to click off because I noticed that a lot of them would be like, I can't watch this if there's too many cursing. Well, I don't know if you had that too.
That, and it's a tough 180 to make on someone who expects family friendly. And I never claim to be family friendly. Whenever somebody comes in, and as you know, they'll do this so I don't know if their parents tell them to or whatever may be the case, but they'll come in and they'll say, hey, I'm new here. Are you family friendly? I'll tell them straight up is like, look, I do my absolute best to be, but I every now and then they do slip out. Because I'm not going to, I don't want to lie to anybody, right?
Same.
And I'm just like, you can ask chat and see what they think, and they'll usually back you up and everything.
Yeah.
But I do think it's important to have that little footnote if you're gonna make the transition. Like I think the viewing audience deserves that one where I wish I had what Coach has, where he can like flip the light red. You know what I mean? That's what he does. Like if you watch his Call of Duty streams, cool. He turns the light from blue to red, which means we're no longer family friendly. Which I always thought that was awesome.
That is freaking hilarious. Yeah. Okay. So like I was gonna say that. Like I like that. I think your attitude is good. I think that if they were to be relatively young, I'd rather them be with you than like, and again, I'm not gonna say names, but there are just some creators that I wouldn't want to influence my child. Right?
Fair.
I think even if even with that and the fact that you do warnings, right?
Yeah.
I think that is a lesson in and of itself in terms of like, again, assuming like my kid's 9, right?
Yeah.
And he's watching you, he's watching you, and he sees that,
Yep.
right? It
Right.
teaches them like there's a time and place for things. You know what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say?
No,
There's a
dude,
time and
totally.
place to do that. There's a time and place not to do that, and that's a lesson in and of itself. So I
Definitely.
think that the fact that you're cool with that, right? You
Yeah.
understand that, and you take the responsibility to let them know.
Yeah.
I think speaks volumes of you, and I think you're very aware of that.
Right.
But obviously it doesn't bother you.
Yeah,
So that's
it's certainly one of those things where I think the viewers deserve transparency within reason. No, I'm not going to tell you my name, my address, my bank account number, but at the same time, what can you expect here? What can you do? And at the same time, not everyone that is watching our streams needs to view vulgar language if they're a younger age or something, right? They just don't need to. So I think it's the least you can do for a lot of viewers sometimes, and I mean, it's just like kind of a respect thing because it's just like, I mean, if we're gonna truly say that how much we value them being in the stream and watching it, I mean, damn, you got to show it somehow, other than just saying it, because saying it does nothing for me if you don't actually,
exactly.
So yeah, no, I'm with you on that one.
That's very good. That's very good. I like that. And like I said, I think like I said, if I had me personally, if I had to like pick a streamer to watch, like my kid to watch, I would rather it be people like you guys who know, this is
Likewise.
the line. Yeah,
Yeah,
this is the line.
likewise.
This is not the line.
Yeah,
Because like we said, like it is a younger audience. I mean,
right.
with time they'll grow and hopefully learn.
Sure.
But it's
Sure.
cool. It's cool. It's really cool, man. Like,
Yeah.
because it creeps me out sometimes, man. I'll be like, there's some predatory people out there,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we've been very fortunate that I think, at least in my experience, I don't know if you could say the same, that we haven't found any that are like that.
Yeah,
That are like,
or if proper precautions are taken, you avoid it before it's an issue.
yeah,
It's one of
yeah,
those things. And that's the thing is, I mean, for all you know, someone says that they're 8 years old and they're not. They're 40. And they're coming in with bad intentions for nothing else
dude.
other than to destroy channels or something.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's so.
You just don't know,
Yeah,
you
and I
know?
don't know if it's because of like my background and how callous I am, but
Yeah.
like, dude, I'm always like thinking like, man, like, thank goodness, like we have at the very most like for the most part, a decently like normal community instead of
Totally.
like people trying
Totally.
to, get jammed up on something they shouldn't be doing.
Yeah. I completely agree.
Yeah. So in terms of everything else, I think we kind of already talked about
Nice,
it. The
brother.
only thing I was gonna say was, what did you think about YouTube as a platform? I think we kind of already touched on it, but would there be something that they would do that could ruin it?
Uh,
Outside of, I know like
yeah.
the monetization rules changed recently.
Yeah, yeah, we talked about that a little bit. I
Yeah.
mean, it's hard for me to know or to say because I don't know if I have that much knowledge on like the in terms of what consumers in this case being streamers want or don't want. I have some
Yeah.
general ideas, but I'm sure there's a lot of nuance to everything, right?
Yeah.
I think recently, because if you recall what Twitch recently just did that killed, which is why so many people are switching over to YouTube. I mean, Twitch changed like the profit margins. So I think
Yeah.
YouTube for ad revenue is, I can't remember, 60 40 70. You may know these better than me, but like for memberships it's different, for donations it's different.
Yeah.
I think if you change those, that would hurt your market a little bit. I think right now with Twitch making the change for the worse, I think YouTube gets better profit margin. And this is for the big creators, not necessarily for guys like you and me. But
Yeah.
like your big creators, if they switch back over to Twitch, that's where the viewers go.
Exactly.
So I think, I mean, that could certainly limit them. If they did anything that would decrease their discoverability, all the things that you and I gassed them up for, if they do anything that
Yeah.
reverse engineers that, I mean, that would certainly hurt it, because I think they're in a really good position right now to really try to take a shot at Twitch the King in terms of
Oh my
live
gosh,
streaming.
yeah.
And I don't know if they ever officially will, because there's a lot of people where they go to Twitch because they want to watch live streams. YouTube, not everyone on there. While it's a bigger base of people, not everyone is on there to watch live streams. you
Yeah,
know? So
yeah.
I think that kind of plays a role in it as well. So if they keep on kind of, it's kind of what we talk about with Fall Guys and their customs. It ain't broke. Don't try to fix it.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, I would agree.
You know,
I would
and
agree
I
with
mean,
that.
what about you? Are there any things that you'd like to see like changes make it better, or things that you think that could kill it?
No, I don't even think. I think they're like you said, exactly where they need to be. I think if they ruin the discoverability and if they just kind of like stagnate instead of improve, like
True.
I'm sure there's a way they can really like emphasize like, hey, go here for live streams, go here for videos, go here.
Yeah.
Like they did that recently, and that's what I'm saying. Like they're on the right track because I don't know if you noticed. Like now somebody can go to your channel and they can specifically like see
Yeah.
all your live streams, all your videos, all your shorts. It's all separate, whereas before it was all together. So it's kind of a
Yeah.
little incongruent. Whereas now
Agreed.
I can go to your channel and I can watch all your shorts, I can watch all your videos,
Yeah.
I can watch all your stream VODs.
Yeah, they have
So
like the search filters. I can type in Fall Guys customs, then I could put a filter on for live,
yeah,
right? You
yeah.
know, or I can just type in live. Let me ask you this: do you think it'd be beneficial or negative? You know how when you click on YouTube Music, it almost like puts you like an entirely different tab and section?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That'd be an interesting one as well.
That's what I'm saying. Like because they already have the title YouTube Gaming. So
True.
I don't
True.
know if it would be like you said, I don't know if it would be beneficial or to their detriment if they like kind of separated live streams in a different platform, but I don't
Yeah.
know how that would tie into discoverability. So I don't
I
know.
I agree. Yeah, it almost
Yeah.
makes you wonder because like you were talking about where like if someone's watching a Semington Fall Guys video, then all of a sudden you have Yugi who's live currently playing.
Right.
That's big discoverability. That if I'm not on the live stream page, then all of a sudden that's not there.
Exactly.
So I
Exactly.
guess
So
we may have answered our own question there.
yeah, exactly. That would probably ruin it and like you said, like
Yeah,
damaging the discoverability, but
agreed.
I think
Agreed.
I think coming from your point of view as well, like I think it is what it is. I don't know if we even at this point even really are too concerned about YouTube doing the work. It's kind of up to us, right? So
I mean, at the end of the day, the beautiful thing about the internet and content creation, as much as I do knock it, and there are things that I do hate about technology, the internet, and everything, as I'm like my old man on my rocking chair,
yeah,
it's cool in that I love the idea that some kid in North Dakota
yeah,
can start a podcast, can start a gaming channel, and if he's good and if he pounds pavement and puts the time in, he can make it and he can make a career
yeah,
out of it. I absolutely love the entire idea and concept of it. I
yeah,
really do. And I feel as though you could raid me as many times as you possibly could. However, if I put out a bad product, it's not like anybody stays. That's why I'm happy that if I raid somebody, if I raid you, if I raid Coach, if I raid Godfather, if I raid name it, Cameron Gaming, the list goes on and on and on. If I raid Wild Bill, if I raid them and your guys' product is like, I love the fact that they stay with you because you have good product and they want to keep
right,
on being in your streams and everything. And like I love when someone goes, "Hey, I discovered you from a Yugi raid."
yeah,
Oh yeah, it makes me
yeah,
so happy. You know what I mean?
yeah. That happened a few times. Yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, like I think it happens for probably all of us to a certain extent, but I don't know. It's just at the end of the day, is I think you get out of YouTube and content creation, whatever it is you put into it, the amount of time,
yeah,
effort, and research you do, and I think everything we've discussed here today plays a role in it. Are you a good person? I think that matters. I don't think there's a ton of bad people that make it. There's certainly some, but
yeah,
I think down to their core, most people that have made it and have found success, I think they're good people.
yeah, yeah. Like they have like a semblance of morals.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
no,
That's fair.
definitely,
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yugi601, that was a lot of fun, man.
yeah,
Once
yeah. That
again,
was
thanks
good.
so much, man. I am sorry, and I do appreciate. I know you sacrificed your stream for this, so
It's all right, man.
I
Like I said, I know they're gonna be, ha- receiving a treat in the end, so it's worth it.
I hope so. A treat to the tune of a little over 3.5 hours, my man. That was awesome, dude. So
I'm sorry. How much you say?
3.5.
Whew.
That felt like about an hour and a half, to be honest with you. Time flies when you're having fun, man. That was a ton of fun, man. Thank you once again for coming on. I do greatly appreciate it. This will be your first time of many, dude. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Can't
wait to have you back, brother. Can't wait to talk to you. Can't wait to game with you again, my dude. Can't wait to see you on stream again, dude.
Yeah.
Yugi, one more time, man. Where can we find you? Where do you stream on? When do you stream? Speaking of finding you on stream.
Sure. Like I said, you can find me on everything, either Yugi601 or Yugi601 with an underscore.
Love it.
I stream Thursday through Sunday, 4:30 Eastern.
Love it.
We mainly stream Fall Guys for now, and everyone's welcome. Feel free to say hi if you came from the podcast, and we appreciate it.
Definitely. Yeah, everyone who actually stuck this out, which we may be talking to maybe you and me here, Yugs, in the future, but everyone who stuck it out this far, thank you guys so much. I do really, really appreciate it. It does mean a lot to us both. Seriously, though, I wouldn't have Yugi on if I didn't love him both as a person and as a content creator as well, so certainly wouldn't send people his way if it wasn't somebody that I thought people would enjoy and that people needed to see and that people would have a great time when they do hang out in his streams. So seriously, please go check him out if you have not. You are really missing out. Other than that, my dude, I think that's a podcast number 1/2. Like I said, this is the first ever one I recorded. So I still haven't done the intro one, but we may just come out hot and get you in on the first one, man.
Just drop the bomb on.
Yeah, seriously. May even just say screw the intro. We'll just see where this goes from here. So,
all right. Well, thank you, VTice. It's been an honor.
Absolutely, man. Honor was all mine, my dude. Have a great rest of your night. Please tell Lady Yugi. Please tell your lovely wife I said hello, and we'll talk to you soon, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. You're the man. Thanks, Yugs. I appreciate you, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Much love, V.
Yep. Much love. Later, bro.
Later.